Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, out to the ICC Sports Network. Big-time broadcast today as ICC Baseball, the number 4 team in the country, currently leading the MACJC standings, takes on number 11 Northwest in one of the probably most friendly rivalries in the state of Mississippi between ICC and Northwest. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy, Kevin Maloney on hand as well for today's stats. Raphael Henry and Lee Adams on at the field as well. So, Jeremy, we talked about it. You look at ICC, you look at Northwest, there's a lot of similarities, the colors, the tradition, the obviously the records right now. So just talk about this matchup from your outside looking in.
Yeah, it's really good, and you're going to see a bunch of teams, or a bunch of players from both these teams are going to play at the next level too. Both teams have some kids that are going to play Division I baseball at the next level. I'm interested to see the contrast. Northwest is a little bit more of a home run hitting offense. They have a batting average is not quite as high as what ICC's got, but they do have a little bit maybe more of an explosive offense, yet ICC's been really good on the mound this year as well. So there's a contrast in styles in addition to some of those similarities we talked about, and I think obviously too, the wind going to be blowing a little bit out, which could favor Northwest with a lot more of that explosive pop at the plate. But I think really, really good to see. And obviously we'll talk about Justin Medlin, who's going to start in Game 1. Interested to see if he can bounce, if he can keep going what he had last week when you and I were in Boonville.
Yep, absolutely. You talk about the bats warming up. Well, the Indians' bats warmed up big time yesterday, actually.
Right.
Almost scoring a combined 30 runs. They win the game 26-7. And talking of Justin Medlin, Medlin was the star of the game. 4 home runs. He had a solo, a 2-run, a 3-run, and another solo home run. Nearly had a 5th home run, and bases were loaded. They walked him.
I know, and that's the thing, too. We're talking about this, and how many times could somebody in the history of the game of baseball come up with a chance to hit for the cycle in home runs?
Yes.
And he needed a grand slam to do that. And he's somebody, too, that I thought really interesting. The first time we talked about last week and watching him pitch from that left side and him being able to hit his spots. And he's going to have to do a really good job of that today, because if he falls behind with some of these Northwest hitters, these power hitters, they can really make life tough. And certainly for Northwest, they're going to have to be able to lay off some of the off-speed pitch. He does a good job getting guys to chase out of the strike zone. Comes from the left side. It's not a high-velocity guy, but he does a good job mixing his pitches and working in and out of the zone. It's a really fun matchup for what could be number 1 in the state.
Absolutely. ICC comes in 28-5-1 on the year, 13-3 in conference play. Northwest 25-7, 14-4 in conference play as well. Let's take a look at today's coach Coca-Cola starting lineups, and let's talk about the Rangers. Leading things off will be the shortstop, Tanner Leggett. He's a Mississippi State signee. You've got Tucker Richmond playing second base. He'll be batting second. Batting third will be Ole Miss signee Hayden Leatherwood playing out in left field. Tanner Booth, a Murray State signee, he'll be catching and batting fourth. Hammer Franks from right near down the road, I think he's actually from Moorville. He'll be playing in right field, batting fifth. Ben Van Cleve, the Ole Miss signee, will be playing over at first base, batting sixth. And then batting seventh will be the DH, Peyton Mills. Kelton Hall. Yes, Hall. He's an Ingomar kid.
Ingomar, there you go.
Playing over at third base, batting eighth. And Braylon Skinner in center field, batting ninth. Trent Bunning will be the pitcher today, and that's not their number one guy. He's only got 2 appearances and I think 14 innings pitched total here. So let's take a look at the lineup here for your ICC Indians. Leading things off will be the La Tech signee, the second baseman Kyle Krieger. And then batting second, be in center field, will be the Mizzou signee, Jackson Lancaster. Batting third, playing in left field, is going to be the Mississippi College signee, LeBryant Siddell. And then pitching in the DH today, batting in the fourth spot, will be the Middle Tennessee signee. That is going to be Justin Medlin. Batting fifth and catching is Austin Powell. Batting sixth and playing the sixth spot, that's shortstop. That's going to be Brett Coker. Lane Domino will be out in right field, batting seventh. Hayden Palmer will be over at first base, and Russell Bunch will be playing over at third base. And the pitcher is Justin Medlin, as we've already mentioned. We're going to take a timeout and come back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network, as we're just moments away from that First American National Bank opening pitch between ICC and Northwest.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here, and it's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkey's for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkey's for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're just moments away from that First American National Bank opening pitch here between ICC, the number 4 team in the country. They took over the sole possession of 4th place this afternoon when the new rankings came out. Northwest jumped from, I believe, from 15 to 11 as well. So we got a primetime matchup here on Let'sGoICCTV.com as well as FM 95.1 The Farm, your hometown country station. So, Jeremy, let's go inside the numbers being presented by Sonic and talk about today's starting pitcher in Justin Medlin.
Medlin, we talked about last week from Ripley, the sophomore, making his his eighth appearance of the season, 4-0 on the year. 30 2/3 innings pitched, 19 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 12 walks, 39 strikeouts. He's carrying a 2.05 ERA, and he'll need to be good. It's a Northwest lineup, hitting 300 on the year. I mentioned those 37 home runs, 410 on base percentage. They don't steal necessarily. If you're looking at the bigger guys, you'd think they would steal as much, but they're 60 of 74 on the base paths this year, so got to control the running game.
So what did the First American National Bank opening pitch? It swung on, fouled out of play for strike one. That First American National Bank opening pitch coming your way at 3:04. Reminding you to follow the flag with locations from Iuka to Tupelo. That's First American National Bank. So 0-1 is the count. This is MSU signee Tanner Leggett at the plate. Breaking pitch, missing outside, even to the count now at 1-1.
And Leggett, a really terrific fielder, struggled a bit at the plate, only hitting .231, couple of home runs, 18 runs batted in. But he is terrific in the field and does a nice job as a table setter. Can get on base, a .354 on base percentage. And when he does, though, he's really dynamite, 10 for 10 in stolen bases.
Good location on that fastball. Leggett couldn't catch up with it. 1-2 now is the count. No outs as Leggett leading us off here. He's playing shortstop. There's a ground ball. It's going to be the shortstop. Backhands, throws, long throw, and it's going to be offline. And it's going to be going for a hit in that situation. So a nice job there. Tough play there for Coker deep in the hole. But a good job waiting back on that pitch and knocking it in there for a single.
It was. It's a 1-2 pitch, and I think Medlin would tell you it's a mistake. He missed his spot. He was trying to get the ball down and in. Instead, he left the ball up a little bit and allowed Leggett to just sort of go with the pitch. And once he hit that deep in the hole, there really wasn't much Coker could have done. But the only thing he did was just save it from going into the outfield. And this is what I talked about. You're going to have to now control the running game. He's 10 for 10 on the year, 60 of 74. I look for Northwest to try to put some pressure on Medlin early.
So this is Tucker Richmond, the second baseman at the plate now. Swings on the first pitch he sees, fouls it back for strike one.
You're looking at Richmond on the year, hitting 400, no home runs, but 9 runs batted in. He's got a .451 on base percentage. And we talk about this lineup, and it's really, really deep top to bottom. They've got table setters at the top and those big heavy hitters in the middle that have been able to drive the ball out of the ballpark.
So 0-1 pitch coming. That one drifts high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count here to Richmond. Well, Jeremy, we talk about the ability to steal over there at first base. 10 for 10 for Leggett, left-handed guy on the mound. Makes him stay a little bit more honest.
That will certainly help a little bit. Obviously, Medlin will see how he changes his delivery to the plate. If we see a lot of slide steps, or if he just continues to pitch from the stretch like he normally would. And also, I think sometimes, too, the defensive alignment as well. We talked about last week, we were in Boonville, everybody was trying to bunch the gaps. A little bit like that today. Down the lines are pretty much open early in the first.
So 2-1 is the count as that last pitch missing inside. Runner goes. This one's popped up. Center fielder Jackson Lancaster having to shade his eyes from the sun and will squeeze it for the out. So out number one there, and a pretty good pitch. Just got a little routine fly ball out to center field.
Yeah, it was. It's a 2-1 count, so you're not surprised to see the hit and run there. And, boy, just got under it a little bit. Medlin had to come with a fastball on the inside corner. It was hit fairly well. Lancaster didn't have to move, though, but 390 out there to dead center. Plus, you got, obviously, about a 20-foot wall out there, so you got to really poke it out there to dead center to get it out.
So this is going to be Ole Miss signee Hayden Leatherwood, the left fielder at the plate. Stands in and takes that fastball across for a strike. Medlin so far doing a pretty good job of locating that fastball.
Yeah, he's going to have to do a good job of locating the fastball, because if he can get the fastball over for a strike, it just makes his breaking stuff that much more difficult to hit, particularly to the lefties like Leatherwood.
This pitch popped up straight back over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. And we're outside today, so if anything goes too far up, and we might have to scatter here. We are underneath an awning. But so that one goes for strike two. 0-2 now is the count here on Leatherwood.
Leatherwood hitting .348 on the year, does have 5 home runs, second on the team in that category.
So the 0-2 pitch coming. Outside missing. Good job that time by Powell to get out there in a hurry and keep the runner over at first base.
Yeah, the one thing you like, too, about him, he's drawn 23 walks on the year to just 12 strikeouts, so clearly sees it very well. He's got good plate discipline, won't chase a lot. I like the 0-2 pitch, though. Go down in a way, see if you can get him to try to chase. You got to make a good pitch here on 1-2. You don't want to go 2-2.
So what is the 1-2 offering here? That breaking pitch, oh, good-looking pitch, but just a little bit too far outside for the umpire's liking. 2-2 now is the count.
Yeah, that was another really good pitch and a better one than the 0-2, and you could tell Leatherwood almost chased after it. But now you're at 2-2. You could see some action on the base paths again. If Medlin has to come with something, Leatherwood's going to be sitting dead red fastball.
And that's what he's looking for. Pops this one up. Foul territory. Third baseman Russell Bunch going to go back and will make the play. Well, good job by Russell Bunch, and a reason why that is such a good jobless routine for most is the fact that there's a pretty big slope out there leading off for the drainage here at the field.
There is, and boy, that's a really, really big pitch there by Medlin. He gets ahead 0-2, a couple of breaking balls away from Leatherwood, the lefty that Hayden wouldn't chase, and he came back with a 2-2 fastball, and Leatherwood just got underneath it and popped it up out there, and you're right, that's a huge out there, and now Medlin can get out of this unscathed after giving up that infield single.
This is Tanner Booth at the plate now. He is signed with Murray State, and he's catching here in the first game of the day. Runner goes, little hit-and-run action here. Deep to center field, Jackson Lancaster goes back on the warning track and makes the play. So big time out there after giving up the single to start the inning. A pair of fly balls out to center field, and then a pop-up and foul territory ends it. One hit, no runs, no errors, and one left on base. We'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and come back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. Like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in!
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now as we shift to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless, Northwest was able to get one hit in the top half of the inning, but three straight outs ended the inning there and ended the threat. Trent Bunning is the pitcher here on the mound. Not a whole lot of innings for him, but big-time game, so you know he's got to have a pretty good arm here.
He does. Numbers for him are pretty good this season, making his 10th appearance overall. Second start, he's 3-1 with a 3.68 ERA, 14 2/3 innings pitched. 13 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned. Really sparkling strikeout to walk ratio, though. Just 2 walks on the season and 16 strikeouts. He's starting in place of Carlson Stunnett, who is injured this, so that's something also to kind of think about this Northwest bullpen. Midweek games, how do you manage that? But Bunning going to try to eat up some innings. Of course, this one is the 9-inning game, and so that's where Northwest is really going to need him to go deep into it. ICC maybe a little bit more comfortable with where they are in the midweek at this point because Medlin is typically the midweek guy. But he's going to be facing a pretty good lineup, as we talked about. Had a bunch of runs scored last night, won the second game 26-7. It's an ICC lineup, 321 average total, 436 on base percentage, 22 home runs. So it's not, the long ball kind of offense, but as you and I have talked about, they do it all through 1 through 9. They're a very diverse lineup, and it really starts with this guy leading it off in Kyle Krieger.
Kyle Krieger, La Tech signee, playing second base today. So he'll try to start things off here on a positive note for the Indians. Swings of the first pitch he sees, and it's going to get past the third baseman. So a good start there for the ball game for the Indians. And that's going to be an error over there at third base. So, Jeremy, whether it's a hit, whether it's other, your leadoff guy gets on, it's usually pretty big.
Yeah, it is. And, of course, obviously, too, we talked about, ICC and Northwest both being teams that run. ICC doesn't run as much, but they do have a better steal percentage, 43 of 51. Krieger over there is 5 for 6 on the season. But, Kelton Hall just allowed that ball to eat him up a little bit. both teams attacking the fastball early, which is what you'd expect in a game like this. So if you're bunting, you're going to have to get that fastball over and then see if you can work your secondary stuff.
This is Jackson Lancaster at the plate now. Took the first pitch, a breaking pitch for a strike. Jackson has signed with Missouri. There's a snap throw over to first. Not in time. Actually, the ball popped away, but not really far enough for Krieger to do any damage. So Kyle does have pretty good speed. Lancaster, however, is probably, well, during the sophomore showcase, during the fall, he registered as the fastest sophomore at the showcase in the 60 time. So, you've got two guys on the bases right now that can motor.
Yeah, he's the team's leader in stolen bases, and he's 12 of 15. And so if you get him on base, he's got a chance. And you were talking about during the break, and he does such a good job patrolling center field, and he's a security blanket for Medlin and all the other pitchers because he can cover so much ground. A couple of hard hit balls in the top of the first that he made look really easy.
0-1 is the count. There's a hard hit ball. Second baseman had it, lost it, but recovered and was able to throw it over in time for the out. Good job over there at second base that time, as that was Tucker Richmond. That was a blistering shot to him. Bounced out of his glove, but found it enough time to get to Speedy Lancaster.
It was, but boy, he would probably be the first to tell you if he gloves that's a 4-6-3 double play opportunity there. And I think that's what he was trying to do, was come up and turn and throw to second base and just had the ball pop out. So a break for ICC to get a runner in scoring position. Northwest a little shaky defensively to start, with Kelton Hall's error there at third base, and Richmond not able to squeeze that one. So a chance now for ICC to get an early run.
Breaking pitch falls off the table a little bit too low, as this is LeBryant Siddell, the left fielder who is signed with Mississippi College, is at the plate now for the Indians. 0-0 is your score. We're in the bottom of the first. There is a runner on second in Kyle Krieger. LB looks at that one, fastball, a good one at the knees for a strike, even the count now at 1-1.
Yeah, really good fastball by Bunting there to come back right at the knees towards the outside corner. Siddell hitting .355, 7 home runs, which leads this Indians ball club.
So 1-1 is the count here to LeBryant Siddell. He's out of Tupelo. Grounder, third baseman opportunity here. Takes a knee, throws over. It's going to be a long throw. It's going to be in time for the out. 5-3. Good job by Hall that time. You can tell he really stayed down and focused on that one.
Yeah, that time played it beautifully. Got the nice Sunday hop. Did a nice job to look the runner back. Krieger at second base and made a strong throw over there. And so we saw Justin Medlin allow a runner to get to second base and got out of it. Now we'll see if Bunting can do the same thing. So you got counterparts here, and Medlin with a chance to help his own cause. You talked about swinging a ridiculously hot bat from yesterday. And, boy, a huge opportunity to help his own cause and give his team an early lead.
So 2 outs, a runner at second. This is Justin Medlin. Middle Tennessee signee at the plate. Looks at that pitch outside for ball 1. Jeremy, we talked about his play at the plate this past week, but he's been pretty good all season long. Got to think Middle Tennessee, get it in steal.
Murfreesboro, how about it? Yeah, I would agree. I think he's done a terrific job this year, and almost hit for the cycle in home runs is almost unheard of. And that's something that he did yesterday, and I don't care what level you're playing. That's unbelievable. And to hit 4 home runs in a game is amazing too, but a grand slam away, and actually got a chance, came up to the plate.
Yep.
But
and they were having nothing with it. They walked him. So that's the ultimate sign of respect in baseball.
Chose to walk in a run rather than let him swing away.
So 1-1 now is the count here to Justin Medlin. Runner at second. 0-0 is your score. Bottom of the first. Medlin couldn't hold off on that one. And a swing and a miss, 1-2 now is the count. Now, that could be a double curse. After you hit those 4 home runs, everything you think you can put out of the park.
That's right.
Chase one low and in the zone that time.
Yeah, those are 2 really good off-speed pitches with some downward movement by Bunting there, going down and into the lefties, and Medlin just not been able to see it. I would imagine you'd see this again on 1-2 and see if you can lay off of it, try to get you to swing over the top of it.
So away to the 1-2 offering here from Bunting. Runner at second, 2 outs. And another good pitch there. And Jeremy, you called it. That's a Renaissance Bank strikeout. So we saw both teams able to put a runner on to start the contest. Just couldn't get anything going there. Jeremy, so far, this game is shaping up like we would expect in our top 15 matchup.
Yeah, a lot of energy out there, a lot of intensity. Really good so far. And no surprise there that both pitchers able to wiggle out a little bit.
When we come back, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up from Northwest. Franks, Van Cleve, and Mills. We'll find out what they can do after this. 0-0 is your score After one complete, let's hear a word from Little Caesars.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say, it's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza, then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6.
Pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the second inning. 0-0 is your score. Justin Medlin taking his warm-up tosses here. Jeremy, we know this game right now is for first place in the conference. Of course, the winner of the conference is the state champion, gets that bye into the Region 23 tournament, and will host the Region 23 tournament. Talk about the nerves and the mindset coming into this game.
Yeah, I think obviously they're there because both of these teams, historically have been pretty good, but I think we're talking to you when you're talking to Kevin Northwest. He said, "It's been here 10 years. Northwest, best team they've had. You've been at ICC a long time.
Yeah.
You probably said the same thing about ICC.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about both teams having their best years in a long, long time, and both teams know what this is about. And also, too, you look at it just a little bit deeper. Northwest has got a brutal schedule coming up. ICC has been able to get through some of that already. So I think that just adds a little bit more to this one. Of course, it's one of the big rivalries, too, between two schools that are about an hour and a half apart or so. But, boy, really, really fun rivalry.
This is the right fielder, Hammer Franks, at the plate. Took a healthy chop at the first one, swung and missed, and there's a nice pitch from Medlin. Painting the corner, 0-2 now is the count here on Franks.
Yeah, Franks, 7 home runs, leads the Rangers in that category, hitting .316 on the season. Big power hitter from the left side. And, boy, Medlin, you could tell maybe in a little bit of a groove right now, pitching a little quicker than he started, and he's really hitting his spots up to this point.
So 1-2 after that pitch misses high and outside. Fastball, swung on and missed for strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there to start the inning, and I tell you what, Medlin reached back in his hip pocket to put something on that one.
I talked about him not being the most velocity-oriented pitcher, and there's a little extra on that today. Obviously sitting right behind home plate, we can really hear it and get a good feel for it. And boy, he really did a nice job with Franks in that at bat. Worked both sides, went up in the zone there to get that strikeout, and able to get one here against Ben Van Cleve, who may be pound for pound the best player that Northwest has offensively.
He has signed with Ole Miss, takes that first pitch for a strike. Second one drifting inside, 1-1 now is the count. It's a team you know a little bit about, Ole Miss, big Ole Miss guy there as well. So you look at it, 2 guys, is that right? Yeah, 2 guys from Northwest, some Ole Miss signees.
He has a real chance to play first base at Ole Miss next year.
There's a blistering shot out to the left field. A nice hit that time by Van Cleve. And Jeremy, we see a lot of baseball, and of course on this level, you see guys like that, guys like Justin Medlin, guys like on ICC. They're just different whenever they're those type of D1 caliber athletes.
Yeah, and Medlin right there. We're talking about him and how well he's pitched so far. That was really probably the first real mistake that he made. Just hung a breaking ball, and Van Cleve did a good job to see it and wait on it and slap it into left field. But you're right, you can tell these guys. If you watch baseball, you can pick out the guys that are going to play at the next level, and Medlin certainly is one of those guys, and so is Van Cleve.
Swing and a miss. That'll allow the runner to advance after the ball gets away. It's going to be a pass ball in that situation. 0-1 is the count now. Runner in scoring position here for the Rangers.
Yeah, so now we get another situation where a runner's at second base and you got less than 2 outs. Medlin was able to get two fly balls to center field last time. Northwest going to try and get that big key hit to start. But, again, Medlin's just been able to get some extra, little giddy up on that fastball, a little more velocity early in this one.
This is Peyton Mills, the DH, at the plate here for the Rangers. 0-2 is the count. Wind blowing straight out of the ballpark right now. 1 out and a runner at second. The Indians had a runner at second in the bottom part of the first, could not do anything with them. And ICC trying to force the Rangers to do the same here at the top of the second. 0-0 is your score. Game 1 scheduled for 9 innings. This pitch popped up. Going to stay on the infield. Looks like the second baseman Krieger's going to call it off, and he will reel it in. kind of lost it for a second as it drifted away from him.
It did, but you and I obviously are sitting out here. The wind is not going to be nice to a lot of these infielders today. Maybe the outfielders, by the time it gets out there, will be okay, but any of these high pop-ups on the infield will be very difficult for them to judge. But that's another really huge pitch. Medlin comes down and in a count in which he was ahead, and that allows him to throw something all speed. You get some hitters sometimes with 2 strikes that will maybe press a little bit. That's the importance of getting ahead in the count.
Now this is going to be Kelton Hall. Runner goes, throw down is in time. A big-time play there. Let's go back and look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay as Van Cleve gets caught. 2-5 on the putout. Jeremy, that was dead to rights.
It was. And boy, what a great throw there by Austin Powell. A little surprised they sent Van Cleve there. It was not a hitter's count to go second to third. It was only the second time all year he's attempted to steal. He's now 0 for 2, and a good job by ICC to get out of the jam again.
2 up in the bottom of the second. It would be the 5, 6, 7 batters for the Indians. Austin Powell, Brett Coker, and Lane Domino. We'll take a break and see how those guys do. But before we do that, let's hear from Cagle Eye Center. Back with more scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. Like real comfort food.
Trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in!
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Austin Powell, the catcher, leading us off here. 0-0 is your score. Game 1 between ICC and Northwest. ICC coming in with a record of 28-5-1, 13-3. They're leading the MACJC. Northwest right behind them at 25-7, 14-4 in conference play. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy bringing this action here on the ICC Sports Network. So this is Powell, who swings on the first pitch he sees, fouls it back for strike 1.
Dawson having a terrific season, 367 at the plate, couple of home runs, 15 runs batted in. Guy that's got a 500 on-base percentage, and, of course, always typical when you make a great defensive play, you're going to lead off the next inning, and that's what you got here.
So 0-1 is the count after that foul ball. This pitch popped up and off his hands. It could stay in play. No, it's going to get out. Just out of the reach as the catcher gives chase over the dugout. And now the count goes 0-2 here on Powell.
Yeah, Bunning just rearing back and challenging Powell. And Austin just coming up a little bit late on a couple of those pitches early. But I mentioned it, a little nervous energy in the ballpark today. And you got the great weather. The wind is going to play a factor, we think. You got two nationally ranked teams, and boy, so far we've got a lot of action. Every pitch seems to be a much bigger deal. Doesn't seem to look like it's the top of the third inning. Bottom of the second inning, I should say. Yeah.
It's that pitch just a little low and in the dirt, gets away right here in front of us in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. You can check out how you can contribute to Itawamba Community College by visiting iccms.edu. 1-2 now is the count here to Austin Powell. Powell looks at that pitch high. Not a bad spot to miss that time. See if you couldn't get him to chase one. Now evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, really good take. But now the only problem with that, sometimes you start to waste some pitches, and now you're back at 2 balls and 2 strikes, and now there's some stress there for Bunning on the mound against a really good hitter.
So 2-2 is the count. Wind blowing dead center. Big swing and a miss there for a strikeout. Big time answer there. And a big-time play. Back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts now for Bunning.
Boy, that was just a fastball right down the middle. And I don't know if Austin Powell was thinking something else, or maybe he was thinking that it wasn't going to be maybe on the inside part of the plate. But challenged him, and Bunning won that one. That's a really big out. That's the other thing, too. You're going to have to try and get the leadoff batter in every inning as much as you can with how well both of these teams steal bases.
So now this is going to be Brett Coker, the shortstop at the plate here for the Indians. Takes a look at that pitch just inside for a ball. 1-0 now is the count to Coker.
Coker, another really good year for ICC's shortstops. He's got a .371 average, 21 runs batted in, a .467 on-base percentage, and he's done a good job defensively and picks up a base hit.
And a big-time clutch hit there for Coker. A second to go back and look at that one. The first hit of the day for the Indians. Is that one just... a little CNI single found its way through that time.
Yeah, good job to keep his hands back and just bounce that one through the left side. And, yeah, that's the other thing, too, is we talked about this ICC lineup. They don't hit maybe as many home runs. They get 15 fewer than Northwest, but try to be a team that hits it in the gap, hit it down the lines, and get some CNI singles, then try to be active on the base paths. And there's an opportunity for a hit-and-run situation here, no question about it.
So this is Lane Domino at the plate. He's playing in right field today. As there's a snap throw over to first, and, of course, Northwest anticipating the hit-and-run as well, wanting to see if ICC might tip their cards in that situation.
Yeah, we talked about it. Indians are 43 of 51 stealing bases this year, with Van Cleve being thrown out at third base. Northwest 60 of 75. So both of these teams not afraid to chest the opposing catcher.
So there's one out. And a runner over at first base here for the Indians. Lane Domino at the plate. Rips one but pulls it foul. And the count goes 0-1. I tell you what, Lane Domino, his bat's been hot as well. He hit a solo home run over at Northeast and then turns around and hits another one yesterday. So he's his first 2 home runs of the season.
Yeah, the one he hit at Northwest was an absolute
Northeast,
no-doubter. I should say Northeast, yeah. He hit one, down the line, and as soon as it hit the bat, you knew that was gone. And more of a gap hitter and somebody who's certainly done a good job defensively, but start to get a little pop in his bat late in the season.
And that's also if you're Northwest today. And, of course, we do want to say a special hello to those Northwest fans watching here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the red channel. But, yeah, he's a guy you don't want to be on the base because he is fast.
11 for 11 in the stolen base department, second on the team behind Jackson Lancaster. And so that's both of these catchers today are going to be tested, I think. There's no question about that.
So 0-1 is the count to Domino. Runner over at first base. That's Coker, who just singled out to left field. Domino shows bunt, and that pitch was inside and nearly. That could have been a bad situation. Of course, nothing malicious on the throw whatsoever, but that one up and in towards his face, and Domino, a lot quicker than I am, got out of the way.
Yeah, me too. And, Bunting's trying to go to the inside corner to the righties and get them to roll over to the third base side. He actually did that on the first pitch of the at-bat, and he got a ground ball basically to the left side that was foul. And you can see some really late movement into the righties. He's trying to do that. That one just got away from him a bit.
That pitch missing low and outside. 2-1 now goes the count here to Lane Domino. Hayden Palmer is on deck for the Indians. He's batting in the 8th spot, playing over at first base, with Medlin pitching and being the DH here in Game 1.
This is your hit-and-run count potentially. 2-1. You expect to see something you can hit. Domino handles the bat very well. Coker's got some speed over there at first.
So what the 2-1 offering? Instead, we'll have the throw over to first. And Coker not getting a very big lead over there.
He's not, and it's really weird. He's only 2 for 3 on the season, despite the athleticism and the speed. I think, not saying they will do it, but it's certainly a situation that calls for a hit and run to just try to force the issue.
2-1 pitch coming. Ground ball. Third baseman gets it. There's one. Can they turn 2? Nope. So that'll go as a fielder's choice. And I'll tell you what, you cannot make a mistake trying to turn 2 with a guy like Lane Domino blistering down the first base side. So that one, 5-4 on the putout of Coker. Now there's 2 outs, so this is going to be Hayden Palmer coming to the plate.
And you see the pitching strategy again. Bunting comes to the inside, tries to get the righties to roll over, and that's exactly what happened. Domino gets a pitch middle in and just not able to get his bat through the zone quick enough, rolls over, and a good job by Kelton Hall to glove that one and get the lead runner. Indians still alive in the inning, but with only 1 out to work with. And now if you're bunting, got to be aggressive and attack and get your team back in the dugout.
Palmer swings on the first pitch he sees, again on the inside part of the plate, and fouls that one back for strike 1.
Yeah, that had some really late movement into the righties. And I think that's going to be, now the argument is, okay, what do you do from an adjustment standpoint? Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to hit that before the break gets there. The other thing, too, you maybe move a little bit back in the batter's box, which I think is exactly what we just saw there from Hayden Palmer. Yeah, and I'm not so sure that all of these pitches are necessarily strikes, but Bunting's pitching so well, and he's hitting his spots that I think some of the ICC hitters are swinging over the top of it.
Runner goes. Throw down to second is in time for the out. So second time we've seen somebody get caught trying to steal a base, and pretty much anything you could do, I could do better so far. We've played 2, and we're still scoreless. We'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and come back with the top of the third, ICC Northwest, here on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
And welcome back. Don't forget, orientation for April already full, but summer orientations and dates are available. Visit iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu to sign up for those orientation dates. 8-9-1 batters due up here for Northwest. Kelton Hall, the third baseman, will be starting us off here. Scoreless as we're in the top of the third. This pitch fouled out to the parking lot area. The big crowd here today, so that very well could hit a vehicle. And it did.
And it did. You could hear the crowd.
Yeah, that was a big ooh that time, so that might have actually got somebody's windshield. We do have a lot of people moving in the crowd right now, so we do apologize for the blocking of the camera. As that pitch across for a strike, 0-2 now is the count here to Hall. Hall, an Ingomar native, so you know he's got some of his family here. 0-2 pitch, drifts inside, 1-2 now is the count.
Yeah, Hall hitting .314. Yeah, I got a chance to watch him play not just baseball but basketball in Ingomar. Really good athlete and obviously a terrific baseball player. And committed that error in the first inning, but has bounced back, made a couple of nice plays defensively over there at third base, and trying to get something started for his Rangers here in the top of the third. And pretty good battle here. Between both catchers, they've both thrown runners out. We talked about how both teams are going to try to steal. Both pitchers have pretty much been mirror images of each other as well. And so if you're Medlin, you continue to pitch ahead 1-2. Really like to see that breaking ball right here.
And there it was. Fly ball out to center field. Jackson Lancaster takes about 4 steps back and squeezes it for the out. Jackson Lancaster been busy early.
Yeah, it's amazing to me to sit here and watch, and we can hear these balls off the bat, and you can see, and you're thinking, boy, that's a hard hit ball. It looks deep, and Lancaster doesn't have to move, and just how big this ballpark plays. It's a big ballpark from a dimension standpoint, but how big it plays at least another 10 to 15 feet, and that's even with the wind that's going to help some of these balls in the outfield today.
That pitch missing for a ball. Let's go ahead and take a look at the dimensions of the ballpark. Down the center field is 390, to the gaps 365, and down the lines is 330. And so as Jeremy says, a pretty big ballpark here at Crescent Field. The wind is blowing out as that pitch clips the corner of the plate for a strike. 1-1 now is the count to Braylon Skinner out in center field.
Hitting .359 on the year.
Curveball finds the corner of the plate again. 1-2 is the count.
Yeah, that's where I think that you're going to see Medlin be the most effective, is especially against the lefties. The off-speed pitch, especially away, which is where he's liked to go so far.
Grounder right back up the middle. Medlin gets to it. It's going to have to hurry and tosses it over for the out. Good job defending his position that time by Justin Medlin.
It was a very awkward play. He goes on the outside corner with that breaking ball like we thought, but Skinner's able to get enough of it to pull it to the second base side of the mound. And, Medlin's body taking him towards third base. So he has to come across his body and be able to run and field that. And once he did, you're right, it was a foot race and really important out because Skinner's really solid on the base paths.
2 away, and we go back to the top of the lineup now here in Tanner Leggett, the shortstop. He had a single in his first at bat, was left stranded back in the first inning. 0-0 is your score. Top of the third. Game 1 scheduled for 9 innings here between ICC, the number 4 team in the country, and number 11, Northwest. That one right back at us.
That one was, I mean, if there's not a net there,
I'm dead because I didn't flinch.
It's funeral time for us back here. No question about it.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Says a breaking pitch, and that was a thing of beauty. That one just had a hard turn back into the strike zone. 1-2 now is the count.
Yeah, that's a pitch right there. If you're a hitter, boy, you just sometimes you give up on and just falls beautifully in the strike zone. And there's again another really good breaking ball that's been on point for him. His velocity has been a little bit higher than we've expected. He's pitched really well so far.
So the 1-2 pitch coming. This one popped up, backing out of play towards the soccer field. Of course, soccer, I think, going through some of the workouts this time of year. Or maybe just some of the players or some kids out there playing. Not sure if that was the case there, but that foul ball goes 1-2. It's still the count with 2 outs. Nobody on here for the Rangers. Awaiting the pitch here from Medlin. That one just couldn't quite get on the top of the breaking pitch there. 2-2 now is the count.
Yeah, so trying to use both sides of the plate with a breaking ball. A little more effective, I think, when he tries to go away to the lefties, but breaking ball effective nonetheless. 2-2 count, though. I think you got to be sitting dead red fastball here.
So the 2-2 pitch coming, and that's what it was. Foul ball, and we'll stay at 2-2 with 2 outs and nobody on base.
Really good job there by Tanner Leggett. Well, that's a tough pitch to handle. Had some downward movement late, and just what you got to do with 2 strikes. You just got to battle up there and foul pitches away. Leggett doing a really good job of that.
So what are the 2-2 offering here? This one popped up and back and out of play, and we'll stay at 2-2. This is pretty good at bat going right now. Leggett doing a good job of keeping it alive.
Yeah, it's a terrific at bat, and you're looking at the 8 pitch coming up right here, and obviously that's what you want to do if you're a hitter at the plate with 2 strikes. You just foul pitches off, and try to frustrate the pitcher as much as you can. If you're Medlin, just got to keep making your pitches. Eventually you'll win the battle. Looks like you will.
Now this is going to be a pop-up to second base. Krieger finds it and squeezes it for the final out. So a 3-up, 3-down inning there for Medlin. We're scoreless here as we'll move to the bottom of the third. Due up for the Indians will be the 8-9-1 batters. Yeah, Hayden Palmer was at bat, but they caught stealing into the inning. So it'll be Palmer, Bunch, and Krieger. When we come back after these words from our sponsors, 0-0 your score as we head to the bottom of the third.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the third inning. 0-0 is your score between ICC and Northwest. We greatly appreciate everyone joining us here on the ICC Sports Network, including 95.1 The Farm, your hometown country music station. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy, and Jeremy, pretty good ball game so far.
Yeah, exactly what we expected. We've seen both pitchers pitch really well. We've also seen them get out of some jams. Both teams offensively have done a pretty good job as well of barreling up some balls. I think the bigness of the ballpark, if you will, playing a little bit of a factor in detriment to Northwest because they're a team that relies a little bit more on the long ball. They've got 37 coming in than do the Indians. But, boy, both pitchers have done a pretty nice job. And we've also seen both catchers respond with runners trying to steal bases, and both of these teams like to do it a lot. So controlling the running game, a big factor in who will win today.
That first pitch missing for a ball, and that one missing as well. 2-0 now is the count here to Hayden Palmer.
And that's kind of what I was talking about, with that pitch middle in that has some late run to it. It's missing the strike zone. ICC hitters were swinging at it and rolling over. Good job by Palmer to lay off.
So what did the 2-0 pitch here? That one low and outside, 3-0. So Palmer doing a good job. Of course, he was at bat whenever the runner was caught stealing, so he had a chance to see bunting in the previous at bat. So maybe it picked up a few things there.
Yeah, and you're also about to see, we've already seen Medlin face Leggett twice, the leadoff hitter for Northwest. You're about to see both pitchers go through the lineup for the second time, and I think that's going to be really interesting to see what adjustments are made on both sides, because so far we've seen both pitchers be really solid. We've also seen some hard hit balls that are just kind of right at the defenders.
That pitch right down Broadway for a strike. 3-1 now is the count here to Palmer. Palmer fouls that one back and off the inside part of the leg of the catcher, shakes it off, and now the count goes 3-2.
Palmer hitting .324 on the season, a .419 on-base percentage. Does not have a home run, but does have 4 runs batted in. And a guy that can really hit is going to have a hitter's count.
So waiting the 3-2 pitch here, and he's going to, get called for strike 3, a breaking pitch that got just enough of the plate that time, and Coach Collier is going to come down and act like he's talking to Hayden Palmer, but shout that wasn't a strike.
Yeah, that pitch borderline for sure. Outside corner right at the knees. I think if you're ICC, you'd say, look, if Bunting gets that call, he's unhittable. If Medlin gets that call, he's unhittable.
Yeah.
So, first time maybe we've seen a little bit of an expansive strike zone, but I think both pitchers are pitching well. They're going to get the benefit of the doubt.
So this is Russell Bunch at the plate now. Russell swings on the first pitch he sees, lifts it but pulls it foul for strike 1.
Well, Russell's had himself a solid year, especially defensively. .268 at the dish, couple of home runs, 20 runs batted in. Does have a .429 on-base percentage, and that to me I think is the biggest thing is, are you getting on base? You put the ball in play, you draw some walks, do you allow the defense to hurt themselves? And he's done a good job of that this year. Terrific pitch there by Bunting.
Yeah, absolute beautiful breaking ball that time that kind of just slid into the strike zone. 0-2 now is the count. Russell voted Mr. ICC by the student body. He had a grand slam in that 26-7 Game 2 win over East Central. So waiting the 0-2 count here. Bunch looks at that one inside. And 1-2 now goes the count.
Yeah, good take. And not a bad location there with Bunting. That's where he wants to go with those right-handed hitters. And wouldn't surprise me if maybe you try to see that again. He's relied a lot on that fastball this afternoon.
So waiting the 1-2 offering here. That one's going to be low and in the dirt. 2-2 now is the count. The wind has shifted. It's now blowing from basically the first base dugout out towards the scoreboard. And as soon as I talk about it, then it shifts and starts blowing to dead center.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's going to be a factor more so on the infield maybe than on those deep fly balls.
Bunch, hard hit ground ball is going to get past the diving third baseman. So that'll go for a hit there for Russell Bunch. Got a big-time hit there.
Yeah, it was. And a really good at-bat. He got behind 0-2. We talked about that beautiful breaking pitch that Bunting threw, and then all of a sudden he was able to lay off a pitch middle in, showed some good discipline by laying off the breaking ball outside corner, and just fouled off pitches. I think he understood, hey, look, Bunting wants to come middle in on me, and so he was able to get that pitch before it got traveled too far, and a really nice piece of hitting there by Bunch to get the base hit to left.
Well, here comes Kyle Krieger back to the plate. He reached on an error in his first at-bat. Takes that first pitch across for a strike.
So now you're seeing, we talked about it with Medlin. He's seen the leadoff hitter twice. Now Bunting is about to see the leadoff hitter for ICC twice. And so now I think you'll see what adjustments are being made now that both pitchers are about to see the lineup for the second time through.
Toss over to first is not in time as Bunch slides back safely. Wants to do a little manicuring of the dirt over there. Didn't like his footing, I guess you could say. So 0-1 is the count after that first pitch was called a strike. Bunch taking a minimum lead over there at first base.
We talked about the long ball. Krieger does have 5 of them, which is second on the team. You don't normally see your leadoff hitter have maybe that much pop, but he does.
And there's another shot, just a carbon copy of Russell Bunch's. And back-to-back singles now here for the Indians. And ICC now getting a little something going with one out. Runners on first and second here. No score. in the bottom of the third.
And neither of those were bad pitches, really, by Trent Bunting. I mean, I think that pitch right there caught a little bit more of the plate than he wanted, but it was a pitch that was down, and Krieger had to go down and get it and serve it into left field and did that. So now we find ourselves in a little bit of a jam again if you're Northwest and you say, okay, how do you get out of this? You need Bunting to make a couple of really good pitches.
Third hit of the day for the Indians as that pitch drifts outside for Lancaster. So interesting situation, though, now for Bunting. Kind of the first big-time tight situation he's been in.
It is. You had a runner in scoring position, in the first inning, but this first time you get first and second with only one down, and you're looking at 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for the Indians.
So 1-0 is the count here to Lancaster. Pops this one up. It's going to get out of play and even up the count at 1-1.
Well, that pitch has some really late movement down. It looks like a fastball down the middle the whole way and just sunk at the very end, and Lancaster got underneath it and fouled it away. Good pitch there by Bunting, and Lancaster maybe just a tad bit fooled on that one. But, you look at just some of the defensive linemen, big gap in right center if Lancaster goes there. Of course, down the lines, he could run for days if he gets one down that right field line.
1-1 pitch, and it's going to go to the second baseman. They're going to try to turn two. They throw it to second in time, so it will be a fielder's choice in that situation. So they do record one out, however. And so now it's going to take a big-time two-out hit here with a runner over at third base.
So that's a really good job there by Bunting again. He continues to make really good pitches, and so does Medlin when he gets into trouble. Pitches down, Lancaster just beat it into the ground with a ground ball. And good job out there at second base to field it and go get the lead runner. You're not worried about turning a double play there, because if you just go to first, now a base hit could potentially score two. If you give up one here, you're only going to give up one run, and that's okay. But, of course, obviously, if you're Northwest, you want Bunting to get out of this. But, well, the Indians trying not to squander first and second with only one out.
This is LeBryant Siddell, who grounded out to the third baseman in his first at-bat. Takes a look at a curveball that fell off the table a bit too soon for a ball.
Yeah, really good take there by Siddell. That was a good pitch. It looked like it was going to hang up there and catch the strike zone, but fell off the table at the very end.
Yeah, LB, one of the most patient batters you'll find in the league. Has a pretty good eye as well.
Yeah, he's got more walks drawn this year than strikeouts, to your point, and hitting a tad bit under 300 on the season, just 296, but does have those 25 walks. He's got a 443 on-base percentage, and now he's ahead in the count 2-0. I think you sit dead red fastball here. If you miss it, who cares? You can't be late on the fastball in this situation.
So 2-0 is the count. Bunting getting set to deliver for the Rangers. And that was a fastball, and it missed low. 3-0 now is the count to LB. So 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Runners on the corners here for the Indians.
Yeah, the question is, the first base obviously not open, so do you give in and groove a 3-0 fastball, or you just try to walk him and take your chances? They're going to pipe one down the middle. And
well, I think a large part of the not taking the chances is who's on deck.
Yeah.
Justin Medlin. Of course, he struck out to end the first in his last at bat, but he also struck out twice yesterday, but also had those 4 home runs, so you got to go for him here. 3-1 is the count now to LeBryant Siddell. Be a throw over to first. Just a half-hearted throw to make sure Lancaster staying honest over there.
Well, he's 12 of 15 on the season, and you know that obviously if we get to a 3-2 count, Lancaster's off on the pitch. So I think just trying to keep him close over there. But I think if you're Bunting, you don't really have to worry about the steal here on 3-1.
So waiting the 3-1 offering here for Bunting. LB fouls that one back, and now the count goes 3-2, so the runner will be in motion in this situation.
That was his pitch.
Yep.
Middle in, had some late movement, but boy, Siddell was right on top of it, and he just missed it. I think the ball kind of got to him and exploded on him before he thought. So now Lancaster's going to take off. I'd be a little surprised if they do hold him over there at first. Van Cleef does look like he's going to hold him. Lancaster's going on the full count in a huge sequence in this ball game.
So waiting the 3-2 pitch. Up the middle, and this is going to score a run. And a big-time hit there for LeBryant Siddell. ICC leads it 1-0.
Well, just a fastball right down the middle, and Siddell did a good job by not trying to do too much with it. Just took it right back up the middle. Lancaster was off on the pitch, and boy, a really good piece of hitting there by Siddell to give the Indians an early 1-0 lead. But now 3 hits in the inning, which gives you just an idea of how well this team hits for ICC. But that was really, really nicely done by LeBryant Siddell.
That was Russell Bunch who came across the score for the Indians, and now up will be Justin Medlin. That pitch missing low to Justin. There's runners at first and second with 2 outs. 1-0 is your score here in the bottom of the third. 2-out hitting. That's the key to good baseball teams, both like ICC and Northwest. Whoever can find those 2-out hits could really get an edge this afternoon.
Yeah, the definition of timely hitting, and that's what Siddell did. Did a good job, worked the count full, got a pitch he could handle, and got it back up the middle for a base knock.
So 1-0 pitch coming here to Justin. Swings on that one, fouls it back, and 1-1 now is the count. Well, he's aggressive at the plate. Kind of old school, doesn't have those batting gloves, gets up there and just swings away.
Yeah, he also finishes with one hand a lot, which is kind of interesting. If you're doing that with a golf club, not a good idea, but a bat's okay. And you're right. If Bunting makes a mistake, Medlin could easily turn on one. There's some speed on the base paths. Anything to the gap would be really trouble.
There's a hard hit ball. Second baseman should have a little routine play here. He does. Throws over to first in time for the putout of Medlin. 4-3 to end the inning. But the Indians do get 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We've played 3 here in Fulton. ICC leads it 1-0. We come back with the top of the 4th. It'll be the 2, 3, 4 batters due up for the Rangers, Richmond, Leatherwood, and Booth. But before we see them, we're going to hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza. And welcome back. We've played 3 as we move now to the top of the 4th. ICC with a 1-0 lead thanks to an RBI single from LeBryant Siddell that scored Russell Bunch. Jeremy, this is a game that don't expect it to be high scoring. Of course, in the MACJC, a 1-0 game all of a sudden can turn to a 2019 final. But, this game is everything we've expected it to be so far between 2 of the top teams, not only in the state, but the entire country.
It has, and both pitchers done a pretty good job. Unfortunately for Northwest there, Bunting just ran up against a buzzsaw, gave up those 3 hits in the inning, and couldn't wiggle off. But was 1 pitch away from getting out of that inning. But, Siddell did a good job on that 3-2 pitch to get it back up the middle. But, now if you're Justin Medlin, you got a little bit of a margin for error, obviously, but you're facing a Northwest lineup that has hit the ball extremely well all year. And now, as we mentioned, this is the second time through, so you're going to see Leatherwood the second time. You're going to see Van Cleve the second time. So how he handles that, I think, will tell us a lot about today for Justin Medlin.
There is a curveball that is pushed foul. 1-2 now is the count. This is Tucker Richmond, the second baseman. He flew out to center field in his first at-bat today, now behind in the count, 1-2.
Yeah, came in hitting 400 on the season, so obviously a guy that's had a really good year, and he was one of those guys that, as you mentioned, just hit deep fly balls that Jackson Lancaster was able to snag pretty easily.
That one fouled back off the netting. We'll stay at 1-2. There's no outs as Richmond leading us off here. Leatherwood is on deck, and Tanner Booth is in the hole here for the Rangers. 1-0 is your score. Top of the 4th inning. Game 1, as always, scheduled for 9 here in conference play. So waiting the 1-2 pitch here. Curveball just missing outside. Couldn't get him to chase one there. 2-2 now is the count. Nice crowd at the ballpark today. If you're listening here on 95.1 The Farm, still got time to make it out to the ballpark as we're playing 2 this afternoon. 1-0 is your score. Pitch coming. Hit right back up the middle. Diving effort, couldn't get to it. And that's going to be a leadoff single.
Yeah, it gives you an idea why he's had a good year and his hitting 400. Medlin just left that 2-2 pitch up in the zone, and Richmond able to stay on top of it, get the barrel out there, and shoot it right back up the middle, a little bit like what we saw from LeBryant Siddell in the last inning. And so now you get the leadoff runner aboard here if you're Northwest. And we talked about this as well. Richmond 506 on the year in stolen bases, but you're going to get Van Cleve for the second time. You're going to get Leatherwood for the second time. So how does he handle this lineup again? I think, as we talked about, that'll be really big. And third hit of the day already for Northwest as they try to answer.
This is Leatherwood, the Ole Miss signee, at the plate. Swings on the first pitch he sees, and this is trouble. It's going to be to the gap. It's going to go, and this is going to tie the ball game at 1. This will be an extra base hit here. They're going to try to relay it in, and they're not going to have a play at home, and we're tied at 1. Big-time clutch hit there from Hayden Leatherwood on the first pitch he's seen.
Yeah, it's his 8th double of the season, 14th run batted in, and that's what we talked about. Lefty on left matchup, and Medlin just caught way too much of the plate. Had some downward movement on it. Not a terrible pitch, but just caught too much of the plate, and Leatherwood did a good job to go the other way, and boy, did he hammer it in the left center field gap. Nothing cheap about that, and it's a nice response there by Northwest. But if you're Medlin, you got to bear down here and try to minimize. Still got to get relaxed, get that first out.
This is a fly ball out to the right side. Lane Domino gloves it. He's going to throw it in. This is going to be close. And nearly got it. Did he hit him?
It did hit him.
And they're going to send him home because it went into the dugout. So a tough break there for the Indians as the ball, after it hit Leatherwood, it was a great throw out there in right field by Domino. But due to the ball going into the dugout, he gets to come home.
It does, and it'll end up being an E9 just because of the fact that the ball went into the dugout. So now you're looking at the first error for ICC, and boy, all of a sudden, Medlin's doing a good job cruising. But then the second time through, these Northwest hitters getting a pretty good beat on it, and that was just kind of a fly ball. And I thought Domino.
I thought he had it dead to rights.
I did too. Boy, that was a really good throw. Unfortunately for him, it hit Leatherwood. If it doesn't hit him, I think he's able to get it to Bunch at third base, and there would have been a double play. Instead, just an unfortunate break for the Indians as it rolls into the dugout.
This is Hammer Franks at the plate now. Swings and misses for strike 1. He struck out swinging to start the second. So 2-1 now is your score, as Franks couldn't hold off on the fastball there. 0-2 now is the count. You got to think Franks being from just down the road, he might be trying to press a little bit too much this afternoon.
Yeah, those are two fastballs that are way elevated that he just sort of hacked at, almost like he wasn't even really concerned about what pitch was being thrown. And Medlin, good job climbing the strike zone there. Needs a punch out here just to settle down a bit.
That pitch on the outside corner missing. 1-2 now is the count here to Franks. Van Cleve is on deck here for the Rangers. 1 out, nobody on after that ball got away into the dugout and allowed the second run to score. It's 2-1 now, Rangers. Big time swing and a miss there, and another Renaissance Bank strikeout, as that was not necessarily the strikeout, as I hit play all instead of hit play select, but it was Hammer Frank striking out for the second time today. That is the second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the afternoon here for Medlin. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com.
A good job by Medlin to come back. He got the fly ball out to Domino, then comes back and gets the strikeout of Franks, and did it elevating the fastball, worked both sides of the count, and a really nice breaking ball to get Van Cleve to chase for strike 1.
Now this one popped up. Jackson Lancaster's going to jog in and will fight the sun and squeezes it for out number 3, but the damage was done as the Rangers played 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. As we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning, Indians need to try to get the run back. Before they do that, we're going to take the break and hear from Davis Ford and more right here on the ICC Sports Network.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 is your score after a two-spot hung on the board in the top of the fourth by the Rangers. Jeremy, ICC going to have to come back and see if they can keep things going here. Both these battery has kind of figured out not figured out, but have seen the pitchers, so getting a little bit more confidence at the plate.
Yeah, and obviously the Indians had those 3 hits in the last inning. Disappointing that you only get 1 run out of that, but obviously you at least get something, and then Northwest comes back and gets a couple of base hits or gets a couple of hits and ends up taking the lead. But if you're ICC, obviously no panic. We talked about this is a 9-inning game, so you've got a ton of time left in this one. You got a lot of outs to work with. I think if you're an ICC, you keep your approach. It's working. You've got 4 hits in the ball game, and a lot of them have been hard hit. Nothing cheap off of bunting so far. So I think if you keep your same approach, you're okay. As we talked about, though, I think the difficult task is going to be for these pitchers to try to get through the lineup for the second time versus the hitters, feeling like they, don't quite have a good read on what the pitchers want to do their second time through.
This is Austin Powell at the plate. Takes that first pitch low and inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Powell swings on this one, and it's going to get caught by the third baseman. Going to have to hurry. The throw is not in time. So a great play defensively over there at third base, but just enough speed from Powell to leg that one out.
Yeah, Kelton Hall's done a really good job over there and gave himself a chance. I thought off the bat it was going to be a base hit into left field. Hall did a good job to keep it in the infield and make a strong throw over there. Just couldn't get to his feet and make the throw. And Austin Powell provides the 5th hit of the day for the Indians and a leadoff runner. And even though he's the catcher, probably won't run, but that's what we talked about. Got to get the leadoff runners in this ball game enough, and we talked about it. Here comes ICC. Maybe we see a little bit more offense coming through this part of the ball game.
Lays the bunt down. This is going to be trouble for the Rangers. Good speed, and he's going to get it. Oh! Bang, bang play, and that was tough over there. Let's look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay, Jeremy. We're going to have to look at this one close. Hey, the Rangers might have caught a break on that one.
Yeah, that one obviously very bang, bang. I thought sitting here he was safe as well, but at the same time, the field umpire's looking at it the entire way. He says out. Tough break there for the Indians. A terrific bunt. And it wasn't just a sacrifice bunt. It was a bunt for a hit, a good bunt, and a good time to drop it down. Thought Kelton Hall did a good job to come up and field it and throw it over. But, boy, if you're ICC, I think you feel like maybe you had a chance for first and second, nobody out there. So disappointing because it looked like Coker had beaten it out.
So this is going to be Lane Domino at the plate. He reached on a fielder's choice in his previous at-bat, was caught stealing for the first time this season to end the second. So Domino going to try to get things sparked here for the Indians. 1 out, runner at second. That pitch on the inside swung on and missed. And I tell you what, Bunting has made a living on the inside part of the plate.
He has, always to those righties. Not a lot of lefties in this ICC lineup. So what he's done is he's trying to go middle in. Basically, if you're a right-handed hitter for ICC, I would eliminate the outer third of the plate to this point until he proves he's going to try to work both sides of the plate.
It's that breaking pitch missing for a ball. Good frame job by the catcher that time as he pulled it back in quickly. 1-1 is the count.
I'm not sure where that missed.
I'm with you on that.
I thought, just as I was saying he's not really going to work the outside corner and drop some breaking ball on the outside corner. I thought it was a really good pitch there by Bunting.
So 1-1 is the count. 1 out. Runner at second. ICC trailing at 2-1. Bunning's going to reset here. This is Lane Domino at the plate. Domino had a great throw from right field to third that actually hit the runner, got out into the dugout whenever the ball got free, and that's what made it a 2-1 contest so far. So Domino would love to tie this thing back up here. Breaking pitch in the dirt. Nicely done to block that one up there by the Murray State signee, Tanner Booth.
Yeah, it was a good job to block it up because obviously you let one get by you. You've got a runner in Austin Powell that advances 90 feet from home, but a really good take there by Domino as well. That pitch hung up there for a while, and good discipline, understand it was going to come down in the dirt.
Domino swings and misses on that one. 2-2 now is the count.
Just as I talked about his discipline there, he ends up, kind of falling back into that same trap of all of these righties for ICC. That fastball middle in, and it really that time came down and in, and not going to be a strike, but pitch just looks too good for these right-handers to lay off. And we've seen a couple times when they do, the pitch is inside, they get ahead in the count, but unfortunately there, Domino just swinging over the top of it.
So 2-2 is the count. One out and a runner at second. We're in the bottom of the fourth, 2-1. Northwest with the lead. They're going to say he went, and that goes for a strikeout. Just couldn't quite find the brakes on the high fastball there for Domino.
Elevated fastball. Again, though, it's inside of those righties. It's just kind of tied them up all day a lot. And so, and again, here we go. Another right-handed batter going to be Hayden Palmer. And Palmer was one of the ones that was able to do a good job of laying off that pitch and allowing it to run into the righties. But, boy, Bunting a pitch away from getting out of what would have been a really tough jam.
Curveball, and this is a beauty. Swung on and missed for a strike. 0-1 is the count now here to Hayden Palmer. Palmer did eventually strike out swinging in his first at-bat, but he did make him earn that strikeout. So he took him deep into the pitch count. There's 2 outs. Tying run is at second. Bottom of the fourth inning. 2-1. Northwest with the lead here in game one. There's a shot that's going to be up the middle. This is going to tie the ball game. Hayden Palmer with a clutch hit there for the Indians. And we're tied at 2.
Well, you said it, a very clutch hit. 5th RBI of the season. This was hammered right back up the middle. And obviously, Bunting just makes a mistake. He hangs it up into the air, and all of a sudden, Palmer is able to see it and just rips it right back up the box. That is a big-time hit. 6th hit of the day for the Indians. None bigger than that one that ties the game at 2.
That's going to go for a single. He will advance on the throw. He does get the RBI. 2-2 now is your score. So now this is going to be Russell Bunch at the plate. Jeremy, it looks like so far the trend of the game is get that leadoff runner on, they tend to score.
Yeah, and obviously we talk about walks, but it's been hits. I mean, not a lot of walks in this one so far, and I think it's a credit to both pitchers, and they're able to obviously get ahead and get batters to chase. And in fact, I'm going to throw out a jinx situation here. We've had none in the game so far.
So we'll see if you jinx him here. 0-1 is the count as a curveball across for a strike to Russell Bunch. Bunch singled and scored a run his previous at-bat. There's another curveball in on the hands of Bunch, but called a strike. 0-2 now is the count.
Those are 2 really good breaking balls that are going into the righties. As I said, I still would go up there if I'm a right-handed hitter for ICC. I would eliminate the outer third of the plate, expect everything to be middle in, and go from there.
So Bunch with the 0-2 count. 2 outs and a runner on second. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the fourth. And then they throw it away. Well, that time Palmer did not realize nobody was covering the bag, and good job by the center fielder to sprint up in a hurry there. Just a miscue for the Rangers, and they dodge a big-time bullet there.
Yeah, they did. Tanner Leggett, the shortstop. I think that's who Bunting expected to be covering the base, and Leggett was nowhere to be found, and I don't know if it hit Palmer, couldn't tell maybe from here, or if it just kind of got into center field quickly.
Nobody was there, so it just got out to center field.
Yeah, and Skinner did a good job to come up and glove that and keep Palmer at second base.
So 0-2 is the count to Bunch. That pitch missing outside and low for a ball. 1-2 now goes to the count here for Russell.
Bunch, as we talked about, a guy hitting 268's been good at third base all year long. Does have 20 runs batted in, has drawn more walks than strikeouts, has a really high on-base percentage.
1-2 pitch coming. Breaking pitch and gets him looking at it, and that's strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there to end the inning, but the Indians do get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We played 4 2-2 is your score here between ICC and Northwest. We're going to take a break and come back with more ICC baseball action right here on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawama County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back now as we go to the top of the 5th inning for the Rangers. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters, Peyton Mills, Kelton Hall, and Skinner. All due up. That pitch going for a strike. We'll give you the Indians defensive lineup as there's a swing and a miss. Battery looks like this. Justin Medlin behind the plate is going to be Austin Powell. We'll give you the infield after this pitch. Of course, this defensive alignment being brought to you by Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works. 0-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there to start the inning as Mills goes down swinging. The 3rd Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day.
Boy, Medlin was really good there. Didn't mess around. Got a breaking ball over for a strike, couple of fastballs. Used the outside corner, and Mills ended up swinging over the top of a breaking ball on his back foot on the 0-1, and then whiffed on a pitch on the outside corner 0-2. It really gives you an idea of Medlin working both sides of the plate, changing speeds as well, and had Mills way out in front.
Hall fouled that one, or got enough of it to ticket it, as you say. 0-1 is the count. That pitch up high as the hat comes off of Medlin. Let's go ahead and give you the infield over at third base. That's Russell Bunch, the shortstop, Brett Coker. Second base is Kyle Krieger, and Hayden Palmer is over there at first base. We'll give you the outfield after this. Breaking pitch popped up. Lancaster drifts back, now going to jog up, and we'll squeeze it for the out. So let's go ahead and take a look at the outfield. Out in left field is LeBryant Siddell, the center fielder, Jackson Lancaster, and out in right field is Lane Domino. As there's 2 outs now in the inning, and that's the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works. Jeremy, you got your Coke. I am off the sodas, but I am drinking a Dasani water, which is a Coke product. My boy Kevin Maloney down there, he prefers the lemon-flavored water, and he's got it. And also, we do want to thank David Wheeler of the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal coming up and covering today's game. A big-time swing and a miss there for...
He's got some Kroger water there, which is good.
Yes.
No place like Kroger, by the way. No place like Kroger.
As there's a bunt laid down and to go foul. 0-2 is the count. Well, luckily we have no grocery stores as sponsors, so 0-2 is the count.
Regardless, no place. I'm telling you, no place like Kroger.
We just had some ugliness sitting out next to us, folks. What's happening, Coach? Troy Howell coming and joining us up here. There's 2 outs in the inning. 0-2 is the count here to Skinner. That pitch missing, and now the count goes 1-2.
Well, you see Medlin continues to do a good job. When he does face the lefties, trying to go with the off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Just very difficult for lefties to hit. Already ahead 0-2, able to throw that pitch. Doesn't get the strikeout, but maybe changes the eye level.
That pitch goes high. 2-2 now is the count.
Yeah, and then he comes back with that elevated fastball. But a good job there by Skinner. Make sure you don't chase. Now you've got an even count for a guy that hits .359 on the season.
Looking for a 2-out hit here to extend the inning. Can we get another Renaissance Bank strikeout? Instead, we get a fly ball. trouble out here in left field. LeBryant Sedale goes in and makes the catch. Great play out there by LeBryant Sedale. A long run for Sedale to reel that one in and make the final out of the inning. A 3-up, 3-down inning. And Jeremy, what a great play out there by Sedale in left.
Shows you a ton of athleticism. I thought, like you, maybe that ball was going to drop, but Sedale able to come up and make a really nice play defensively, and that's a good inning there for Justin Medlin. Little craziness last couple innings with both teams scoring, and to put up a 0, really big for him.
We come back at the break. It'll be the 1-2-3 batters due up for the Indians. Kyle Krieger, Jackson Lancaster, and LeBryant Sedale. 2-2 is your score as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocados, dude.
Medium rare.
Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that. Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2-2 is your score as we move now to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kyle Krieger, who is 1 for 2 on the day. He had a single but was erased on a fielder's choice in his previous at-bat. He's also reached on an error. Then it'll be Jackson Lancaster and LeBryant Sedale all due up here in the bottom of the 5th. It was a 3-up, 3-down, top of the 5th inning. A good inning, as you said, for Medlin.
Terrific inning for Justin Medlin. And we talked about it, a little bumpy there, giving up those 2 runs in the 4th. And then ICC having a couple of innings where they scored at least 1 run. And Medlin, it kind of looked like he'd not lost his rhythm, but just maybe that Northwest was starting to get to him a little bit. And so to come back and settle down, really, really important for him.
Kyle Krieger never leaves a doubt when he swings the bat. Swung at that first pitch high and missed for a strike. Now takes that pitch on the inside for a ball. 1-1 is the count.
Yeah, this is going to be the 3rd time through the lineup that Bunting is going to face the top of the order now. You've got, as we talked about, Krieger up there. So this is where I think you're really going to see these middle innings go a long way to deciding how long these pitchers are out there.
Well, Krieger tried to stand in and take one for the team that time. It just fell off the table before it got there. 2-1 now is the count here to Krieger.
I'm not sure if it hits him, he's going to be awarded first base. I think you're right. I think he kind of definitely did what he could.
Towards it,
yes, did what he could to try to get hit. And that's a new rule this year in college baseball, is if you try to get hit, it's an automatic strike. And
we've seen that a couple of times.
Yeah, and so that, everybody's got to get used to that. I think for batters, you've grown up your whole life, going, hey, look, maybe just lean into it just a little bit, and now all of a sudden it's going to be a strike. And so sometimes muscle memory gets to you, but a good job by Krieger to avoid that.
And Krieger fouls it back, but held on to for a strikeout, a big-time strikeout there to start the inning. And much like the Indians did, they get a strikeout to start the inning there. That is going to be the 6th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Bunting, and now this is going to bring up Jackson Lancaster.
Yeah, really good job. It goes middle in. This time elevates a fastball up and gets Krieger to swing over the top of it. We talked about, Bunting making only his 2nd career start. Now ties a career high 6 strikeouts with that one right there. So he's looking to duplicate what Justin Medlin did, which is to have a 1-2-3 inning and get these pitchers kind of back on track where they settle down and settle in.
2-2 is your score. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. That breaking pitch missing outside for a ball to Jackson Lancaster, who is 0 for 2 on the day. He did reach on a fielder's choice. Lancaster, nice job taking something off of that one that time ahead of that pitch. 1-1 now is the count.
You're right about that. He's looking fastball and sitting on it, and Bunting pulls the string just a bit. Usually is pitched away from the lefties, but that time came inside to Lancaster.
1-1 pitch coming. Ground ball is going to be a foul ball, and 1-2 now is the count on Lancaster.
Going to be curious to see him develop at the next level. Going to Missouri, so playing in the Southeastern Conference, and Normally Missouri, a little bit like Kentucky, they try to get these Midwestern guys and say, we're your gateway to the SEC. That way they come to Fulton, Mississippi and get a kid to go up there. So I'm curious to see how that will translate next season.
So what are the 1-2 offering here? Grounder is going to be the second baseman. Routine play here. Sends it over and gets out Lancaster for the second time today. He's grounded out to the second baseman. And Jeremy, you just saw a little bit of that SEC speed we were talking about. That was one of those, the second baseman come up and double pop the ball in his glove. And Lancaster still got him out by a step, but Lancaster made that a little bit closer than he thought.
Yeah, if he just chooses to jog that down the first baseline, then you never know. But you try to put some pressure on the second baseman there. Maybe he rushes his throw. Maybe he bobbles the ball a little bit. But a good job there by Bunting to get Lancaster to roll over, and now has a chance to duplicate what Medlin did, and that's get a clean inning in the fifth.
That first pitch to LeBryant Sedell, a curveball missing. 1-0 is the count here for the sophomore out of Tupelo. He had an RBI single with 2 outs in the inning in his previous at-bat. A big hit there, trying to look for another 2-out hit here. That pitch inside, and they're going to give Sedell first base. They're going to say it hit him.
Boy, that one, and I think you're going to get a little conversation by Coach Carson, and I would just say Sedell didn't sort of drop the bat, and I don't know if it just maybe grazed his jersey, and that's why, but boy, I thought that it missed him. And
I'm with you on that. Now, you did hear kind of a little bit of an awkward, not a thud, but kind of like it grazed leather or maybe grazed his jersey. So I think that's what he's going to give it the benefit of the doubt was that awkward noise.
Yeah, and like I said, if he got hit at all, which I'm not suggesting it didn't, it would have to have been the uniform because it didn't look like that maybe it hit his arm and the ball changed. But Sedell stands in there, does get hit by the pitch, becomes a 2-out base runner, and you got Justin Medlin with a chance to help his own cause.
Medlin 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground ball to second. 2 outs and a runner at first. Breaking pitch, it's a beauty in there for a strike. 0-1 now is the count here to Justin Medlin. Don't know if you can really ask too much more out of Medlin after he did over the 2 games against East Central.
No, I don't think so either. And he's done a good job on the mound, obviously, so far. And last week we saw him in Boonville, went 6 innings, gave up only 3 runs. He's going 5 innings, giving up only 2 runs here. This is, quite frankly, a significantly better offense than he faced last week, I should say, in Boonville. But offensively, you're right, maybe not quite as locked in. Bunting's done a good job using those breaking pitches to get Medlin to swing over the top of in his first 2 at-bats.
0-2 pitch coming. And Medlin couldn't hang off of it. And there's another Renaissance Bank strikeout, a big-time strikeout there. The 7th strikeout of the game for Bunting, and he has pitched well. As we've played 5 here in Fulton, we're still tied at 2. We'll take a break and move to the top of the 6th inning. A reminder, this game is scheduled for 9, as all first games in conference play are this season. We'll take a break and hear a word from our sponsors and be back with more right here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, as well as 95.1 The Farm, your new hometown country station.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
Come back.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2-2 is your score. We're moving to the top of the 6th inning. And, Jeremy, I know you got some of those stats right there in front of you being provided by Kevin Maloney. Let's talk about some of the interesting Sonic stats that kind of jump out at you.
Well, I think, number one, too, you look at both of these pitchers, and this is obviously before Medlin will toss this one, but 67 pitches so far through 5, 49 for strikes, which is terrific command by him.
That pitch missing high for a ball.
Yeah, and then you look at it from a situation where, Trent Bunting, 76 pitches, 48 for strikes. But I think the fly-out, ground-out ratio with Medlin is that one. Kevin called it. He said he was going to flinch if it came back and hit the net back this way. But Medlin has got 10 of the 12 outs, of 15 outs he's recorded, 10 have come by the flyout, and a lot of those we talked about have come with Jackson Lancaster. Versus you look at with Trent Bunting, and he has no flyout outs recorded, but 7 ground outs. So both pitchers doing it very differently. Medlin sort of pitching a little bit more to contact, perhaps, and then you've got another pop out coming right here.
Can of corn a mile high as the shortstop goes back and gets it. And that will retire Leggett. Leggett now 1 for 3 on the day. And as you said, Jeremy, a good job working up. Leggett kind of got impatient, popped that one up for out number 1.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. The ball has been elevated a little bit more from Medlin, but it's been elevated with a purpose and with the right spot, not elevated in the strike zone, as we saw right there. But I think it's really kind of interesting because you look at, with the way Bunting is pitched, he's got 7 strikeouts going on with 7 ground outs. So he's ICC maybe not really seeing it quite as well at times, even though they do have 6 hits, versus Northwest, which has gotten the ball timed and gotten it into the outfield. But fortunately for Medlin, he's done a good job when they do elevate it, hitting it right to Jackson Lancaster.
Check swing, going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. Krieger will zip it over to Palmer. That'll be out number 2. Well, just one of those. Couldn't kind of check back on it. Was able to find the bat on there, and an easy out for the Indians.
It was, but another pitch that was kind of elevated to the point where if you're a hitter for Northwest, you weren't really sure. And so you end up not being able to check your swing, and all of a sudden, quickly you got 2 outs in this inning, and Medlin's thrown a total of 4 pitches so far.
Curveball missing inside for ball 1, nearly hitting Hayden Leatherwood. Leatherwood had an RBI double, did eventually come around to score on what was eventually ruled an error. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Curveball, this is a beauty. Really come back in off the batter that time. 1-1 is the count.
He tried to do that on the opening pitch of the at-bat, but just caught way too much of the inside. That time did a good job being able to snap it over.
There's another one, hard hit ground ball. Second baseman Krieger finds it and will throw it over. Oh, nice stretch over there at first by Hayden Palmer as that throw was in the dirt. Krieger to come back and show him some love, and another 3-up, 3-down inning. And Jeremy, a big inning there for the Indians.
It was, and both pitchers come back and put up a couple of zeros after innings where the other team scored. I think both pitchers maybe starting to settle in now, as we talked about both getting to the lineup 3rd time through.
We'll take a break and move to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-2 is your score. Number 4, ICC. Number 11, Northwest, battling for first place in the conference. We'll take a timeout, and we'll hear from First American National Bank and be back with more right after this.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here, and it's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Diffie checking in. Again, I say this all the time. Steve Diffie seems to watch every broadcast on the MACJC, so I think he's got the MACJC package on DirecTV. But, Jeremy, a good ball game as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-2 is your score. Speaking of Steve Diffie and everyone watching, we do want to say a special hello to those watching in support of the Rangers this afternoon on Let'sGoICCTV.com, as well as those listening here on 95.1 The Farm, your hometown country station. So this is going to be Austin Powell, the number 5 batter. Powell, Coker, and Domino due up here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2 is your score. So Powell will lead us off here. Austin 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a run scored. Looks at that first pitch, missing low for a ball. Well, wind really starting to pick up, blowing much more significantly out to dead center field.
Yeah, this is where we talked about the wind going to have maybe a little bit more of an effect as we get deeper into this one and maybe for the nightcap.
As this pitch fouled out of play going towards the parking lot. And that one missed the vehicle. Jeremy, let's give credit where credit's due. Great crowd at the ballpark today. Has provided that energy, not only ICC fans, but a lot of Ranger fans to my right.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy drive, and you can obviously get there too. And there's a bunch of people down that right field line as well. And as that pitch misses, and you're right, it's 2 really good teams. Obviously, number 4 Indians, number 11 Rangers, and yeah, I mentioned that both you and Kevin, 2 SIDs that have been at your respective schools for a long time, say this is the best baseball team that you've seen, in that time frame.
There's a flare out to the right field. Right fielder's going to go back and battle the sun and make the out. Good job that time for Powell going with the pitch. Just hit it a little bit too much for it to hang up.
Yeah, he did. Bunting left it up just a little bit more than he wanted. He got the foul ball on the previous fastball. That's really the spot he wanted. That time he left it up a little bit more. Powell, as you mentioned, goes the other way with it. Unfortunately, just hit it on a line out there to right field. But you mentioned that wind, and that's where, now it's kind of died down. But that's where this ballpark plays so much bigger if you're a pitcher. Even if it blows out, you get a routine fly ball, it's still got to get up probably well over 400 just to clear that wall.
This is going to be Brett Coker at the plate. The shortstop is 1 for 2 on the day. He was erased with the fielder's choice back in the 2nd, grounded out to 3rd in the 4th. So he'll be digging in here for the Indians. 1 out, nobody on. 1-0 is the count here to Coker. Hard hit ground ball is going to pop up, and a nice play at second. The throw is over in time. And Jeremy, let's give credit where credit's due. That one came off the pitching's mound, provided an awkward hop for the second baseman, but he took care of business.
Boy, Tucker Richmond did a great job there. That was a hard hit ball I thought was destined for a base hit back up the middle. It hit the side of the mound as you mentioned it, and Richmond could have done this one of 2 ways. He could have, trying to move over, just block it and make a throw. He decided to go all in with it and try to scoop it, and did a good job. And once he did that, it was an easy toss over to first base.
This is Lane Domino at the plate. I know his dad, Coach Domino, is out there in right field listening right now to the broadcast, so we will give him a shout-out out there in right field. Brave fella to park his vehicle out there because there's a lot of fly balls that go that way.
Yeah, especially we're sort of on foul ball watch when the ball goes that way. We can hear from the people behind us how close it is to hitting a vehicle. Got one earlier and just missed, I think, a Dodge Charger is what somebody said right behind us.
Yes.
On Austin Powell's foul ball.
Swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-1 now is the count here to the freshman right fielder Lane Domino. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out. He's also reached on a fielder's choice. Was caught stealing to end the 2nd. First time he's been caught stealing all season. 1-1 pitch coming. Curveball, and it's going to hang up and just couldn't quite find the zone that time. 2-1 now is the count.
Yeah, good take there because you called that accurately. Good curveball, but definitely elevated. If Domino tries to hack at that, probably pops it up. So good take there. Now you're in a hitter's count.
So the 2-1 pitch coming. And that one, a little bit of delayed decision that time by the umpire, but I do agree, a good call on the breaking pitch at the knees.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, too, you see pitchers do a little bit more nowadays. It's not quite as predictable. You're not going to get a 2-1 fastball all the time. Comes back with that breaking ball. Again, though, middle end of the righties all day. We've seen that from Trent Bunting.
That 2-2 pitch is high. 3-2 is the count. Now, one thing that's made Bunting effective is the fact that he has been able to throw his curveball for strikes.
And that's the other thing, too. If you can throw one pitch consistently for strikes and you can at least get enough command with another one, that makes you solid. But, boy, you throw it like Bunting has, and that's why you've been very effective.
And a nice job by Domino to find a piece of that low fastball to foul it back, and we'll stay at 3-2 now with 2 outs and nobody on base here for the Indians. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. This game's scheduled for 9 innings. 2-2 is your score between ICC, the number 4 team in the country, and number 11, Northwest. So waiting the 3-2 offering here to Domino. Wind shifting now, blowing towards left field. Domino rips one, and it's in and out of the glove of the third baseman, and Domino's got great speed down there and will reach. And that's going to go for a hit. A great diving effort over there at third base by Hall. Just couldn't quite make the effort.
Yeah, I thought off the bat that one was going to be into left field. Well, Kelton Hall has had a lot of opportunities over there at third base today. He's made the most of it. Committed the error on his first chance over there, but has done a terrific job at third base since then and did a nice job to keep that in the infield. And I think if that's maybe anybody but Domino, at least draws a throw over. But, Lane's so fast that you're not going to throw him out. Don't want to compound it by committing an error. And a 2-out single, not the worst thing in the world if you're Northwest.
Well, slippery slider in there that time for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Yeah, you talk about the speed of Lane Domino. I've said it more than once this season. He's quicker than Walt Flanagan's dog. If anybody can get that movie reference, please let me know. 0-1 now is the count here to Hayden Palmer. Snap throw over to first is not in time. That throw a little high, but a good job over there at first base by Van Cleve to get it and also tie the tag.
Apply the tag.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. And that's the thing, too, is that if you're Van Cleve, you're just trying to catch it and tag it. I think if you're bunting, you just want to throw over there. You're not trying to pick him off. As you see that there, I think Domino's not somebody you're probably gonna pick off, so you just want to try to keep him close. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Collier does try to maybe put something on here. You're at towards the bottom of the lineup with Palmer. You're at the 8 batter, so you wouldn't mind if he had to lead off in the 7th if he's caught stealing.
There's a ground ball. It'll be a foul ball. 0-2 now is the count here to Hayden Palmer. Hayden had that clutch hit with 2 outs in the 4th to push across the run and tie the contest. Boy, it'd be a big-time hit here if he can double something to the gap, and with the speed of Domino, would possibly challenge an arm and see if he might be able to take the lead.
Oh, I think if there's anything to the gap, Domino's definitely going to be coming home at this point. Coach Collier pretty aggressive on the base paths as a third base coach. If you get one down the line or in the gap, Domino running, I think you're probably going to see at least a wide turn at third base, if not an outright waving of the arm by Coach Collier over there. But you mentioned, with Bunch, and a couple times today, too, these hitters for ICC doing a good job just working back the count and being able to square up the fastball. They got 7 hits, but 7 different players, too. Everybody's got 1 hit, so nobody with multiple hits. Bunch looking to be the first one to do that.
Again, and the throw over Domino popped up real quick and acted like he was going to go into the ball, just kind of rolled over that time. So 0-2 is the count here to Hayden Palmer. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2 is your score between ICC. As there's another throw over.
That one was a little bit closer. I think this started as just trying to keep him close. Now I do think that Bunting is trying to actually pick him off. If you're Domino, and his lead is getting a little bit bigger, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take off shortly.
So waiting the 0-2 offering to throw over. Again, pretty close that time, but Domino's able to get back. Each time he's taking some pretty hard tags in the ribs. 6th time that he's thrown over to first. Make it 7.
Well, I think if you're Bunting, the crazy thing, you're ahead in the count, 0-2. Not an ideal count to run. I think if it gets to 2-2, you might try it. Obviously, 3-2 is going anyway. I think 0-2, go and try to get Palmer here. You got him down in the count. He's just trying to fight for anything to stay alive.
That pitch up and high gets away from the catcher, but not far enough to allow Domino to scamper down to second. 1-2 now goes the count here to Hayden Palmer. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. 2-2 is your score. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Game 1 between ICC and Northwest. Waiting the pitch here. It's in the dirt. It's going to get away. That's going to allow Domino to head over to second.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about there. You're ahead in the count 0-2, and Bunting it looks like he's effective, and it looks like he's in a rhythm. And then he throws over 7 or 8 times, you try to pick off Lane Domino, and you end up missing inside with a fastball that's elevated. Then you try to spike a curveball in the dirt. and it's 2-2. Now you get Domino in scoring position, and Palmer's back in the count. It's even now, so you make a mistake, he gets a base hit. All of a sudden you're down 3-2. I think that time, I don't think you need to throw over 7 times to get Domino in that situation.
Swinging strike. They're going to have to throw this one down to first to end the inning, and they will. Another big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout to end the inning. The 8th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. Jeremy, just a big-time pitch there as that ends the 6th inning.
Boy, Bunting comes with a 2-2 breaking ball. I'm sure Palmer thought he was going to get a fastball, and Bunting able to spike it in the dirt. A huge strikeout, and both pitchers continue to impress late in the contest.
We're going to take a break and hear a word from Sonic. We've played 6. 2-2 is your score. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. It's like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in.
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move to the top of the 7th inning. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy here on the ICC Sports Network. 2-2 is your score. Just a friendly reminder that we do play 9 innings in the first game of conference play, so this isn't going to be over in your typical 7 innings. And the way things are going here, Jeremy, this one could be a while before we find the end. This one inning, as there's a pitch low in the dirt, swung on a miss for a strike.
Yeah, both pitchers doing a really good job as Tanner Booth's going to lead this one off, and that's what you expect, is that both of these pitchers are going to come in and do well. But with how solid these offenses have been all year, you look at the scoreboard, you're kind of a little bit surprised at what you're seeing. I mean, how about the job that Trent Bunting has done? 2nd career start facing the number 4 team in the country, 8 strikeouts and no walks. And then Justin Medlin, against a team that has played the long ball all year long and has a 300 average as a team. He's given up just 4 hits, and he's yet to walk a batter as well. So both of these pitchers have done a tremendous job being able to do what they can.
And so 1-2 is the count after that foul ball. And there's a shot right back up the middle. That's going to go for a base hit there. Nice at bat that time. And that's just going to be a leadoff single. And, Jeremy, that's what we said. Anytime teams have been able to get that first hit, is always typically turn around and kind of been able to turn that first runner into a run.
Yeah, Tanner Booth able to get that pitch. Medlin, we've talked about it all day. He's elevated a lot of pitches, but he's been able to do it in spots where he wants. That time was elevated, but in the strike zone, and Booth did a good job to hammer that back up the middle. And we'll see what Northwest tries to do, if they do anything with bunt or try to hit and run or steal. It's because we're getting a little bit late now. Medlin, though, good on a pitch count. That was just his 81st pitch right there.
As that pitch up high for a ball, Franks show bunt that time. Instead pulled back. Remind you, coming up in the middle of the 7th inning, we'll have a special guest interview with Matt Collin, who has just joined us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth, as this is a foul ball out of play. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Runner over at first base. That is Tanner Booth, the Murray State signee, who started us off with a hard hit single right back up the middle.
Yeah, so you saw the square round bunt, and that time swinging away. So I think Coach Garson just trying to, a little cat and mouse game, not giving ICC any indication. And night 2, I'd be a little surprised you dropped the bunt here on 2-1. I know Medlin's pitched really well, and you want to get a runner to scoring position, but you've got a guy at the plate that's had a good year. I mean, Franks is hitting .316, and he's certainly capable from that left side.
So 2-1 is the count. Pitch coming. Swung at the elevated fastball, and it misses. 2-2 now is the count there. Good job by Medlin to come back.
And that's what I talked about with him being able to elevate pitches today where he wants them. It's a fastball up and in, but Franks just can't lay off of it. He struck Franks out the last time on that same pitch, and so wouldn't surprise if he tries to go that same way again.
So winning the 2-2 pitch here. This one popped up. It's going to be back and out of play over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Find out how you can contribute to Itawamba Community College by visiting iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu.
Well, Tanner Booth over there at first base is yet to attempt to steal all season. Of course, the catcher, you wouldn't imagine that would.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise, I don't think, but just for numbers' sake, Northwest has tried 75 stolen bases on the season.
So waiting the 2-2 offering here from Medlin to Franks. Looks at the runner over at first. Now will deliver. And there's a shot. It's going to be out to left field. And LeBryant Sedale looked like he was confused for a second. Found it for out number 1.
Yeah, that one looked like perhaps it could be in the gap, but it broke back towards Sedale, who didn't really have to move too much except move in. And I'm like you, I don't think he got the best read off of that. His jump wasn't great, but fortunately for the Indians, that ball carried right to him. And that's a really big out. You have a leadoff runner on base, and Medlin's able to come back and get an out. Now you got to deal with one of the better hitters in this Northwest lineup, in Ben Van Cleve.
Van Cleve 1 for 2. He was caught trying to steal as that pitch at the knees for a strike. Flew out to center field to end the 4th. And that was an unconventional 3-up, 3-down second inning when he was caught trying to steal third to end the inning. So 0-1 is the count. 1 out. There is a runner at first base. 2-2 is your score. Top of the 7th. Game 1 between ICC and Northwest. That pitch hangs up high. 1-1 now goes to count. Well, this game's scheduled for 9 innings, so still a lot of ball game left to play, but Jeremy, this has been an instant classic so far.
It has, and Medlin's good, 6 1/3. We saw him last week go 6 against Northeast, so deeper against deeper against Northwest, which is a much better lineup. Got to be pleased as you can be with his performance today.
Trouble here, but Jackson Lancaster will come in and squeeze it for out number 2. Lancaster, very valuable for the Indians defensively. He covers a lot of ground out there in center field. Reminds you a lot of Tanner Poole, who went on to play at Mississippi State. Of course, Lancaster taking his talents to Missouri next year.
Yeah, it's incredible. That was his 7th putout of the day. I mean, we talked about, the idea of being able to for Medlin to get these fly ball outs and whatnot. 13 fly ball outs today for Justin Medlin.
So there's 2 outs and a runner at first base, and this is going to be Peyton Mills, the DH. Mills 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. He popped up to second to end the second. Was the 3rd strikeout victim of the day to start the 5th for Medlin. He takes that first pitch high for a ball. That pitch missing high as well. 2-0 is the count. Well, Medlin's just put a little something extra on that one. That's the second time his hat's almost come off today.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, like a lot of lefties, he kind of has a little crooked hat so he can see, and sometimes, that will end up happening. But, yeah, a little extra velocity. I mean, his pitch count's pretty good. He's only at 89 pitches through 6 2/3.
This one fouled back off the netting. 2-1 now is the count.
Can't tell. I don't think there's anybody throwing in either bullpen at this point. And, of course, you look at it for Bunting. He's got 94 pitches through 6. That's something to keep in mind. He'll get to, unless something drastic happens, he'll cross the 100 pitch plateau. Medlin's still in good shape if he can keep it minimal here.
So 2-1 is the count. Pitch coming. This one fouled out of play towards the soccer field. And 2-2 now is the count. Of course, ICC typically goes with Krieger sometimes as their relief pitcher, and late in the contest he's at second base, but there is someone looks like they're stretching to get loose. I don't know if that might be Peanut, who is scheduled to start game 2. So 2-2 is the count. Medlin, does he have another Renaissance Bank strikeout in him? We'll have to wait and see after time is taken. A leadoff single. That was Booth. Then he got a line out to left, and then a fly out to center for the second out, trying to find the exit here. 2-2 is your score. Runner at first base here for the Rangers. Medlin getting set to deliver the pitch. There's a hard hit ground ball, and it's going to be a foul ball. I should say not a ground ball, but it's a liner. and a foul ball, so we'll stay at 2-2.
Yeah, Medlin just hung that pitch middle in, and Peyton Mills a little out in front of it. And if you're Medlin, that's a mistake pitch, but you got away with it. So you come breaking ball into the righty. I think he's still going to probably look. If you're Mills, I think you still got to look for something on the inside corner.
So waiting the 2-2 offering here from Medlin. Grounder right back up the middle, and it's going to be an error. Or just couldn't find it that time. We'll look down to our official score. I'm saying E6.
Number 5, Hilton Hall.
Yeah. So a tough break there for the Indians, as it will be the second error of the game for the Indians. Jeremy, that one hurt there because you're out of the inning with no damage done, and now you're going to the Hall, who is 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of flyouts to center, but it extends the inning here for the Rangers.
It does. Good pitch, though, by Medlin. It's a pitch that was down and away, and Mills just sticking the bat out there with 2 strikes, trying to get something on it. Got enough of it to serve it back up the middle, and unfortunately, Coker just could not glove it and make the flip to second base. And so, now we'll see if Northwest can take advantage. And if you're Medlin, you got to bear down here. You could probably see the finish line at this point.
There's a fly ball out to the right side. Domino will drift in and squeeze it for the out. So a good job that time by Medlin. You can tell he's a little bit mad. Had a little extra gas on that one there. But they get out of the inning with no damage done. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on base. As we're tied at 2 now as we go to the middle of the 7th. And we're going to go to our in-game interview. We're going to talk to my good buddy, Mac Holland, in the house. And of course, Mac, welcome to the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Your take on the game so far?
It's a good one. Thanks for having me, first and foremost.
Absolutely.
It's a classic 1-2 Mac Jack game right here, man. It's 2 really solid pitching performances. Looks like it's going to come down to a clutch hit and see who can finish it out on the mound.
This interview being brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. And, Coach, real quick, tell everybody about yourself, what you do. You do a little bit of everything.
My job, my day-to-day job is I work at Holland Funeral Directors with my dad and my grandmother. And, I coach American Legion Baseball in the summer, which is the majority of the reason why I'm here. I got a lot of kids that are playing in this game on both sides, actually. And I coach soccer at Tupelo High School, and then I do a podcast with my buddy Brian Baldwin, and we talk about all things local. So
absolutely. Tell everybody where they can find that podcast. You guys, you can tell you're desperate for guests because you had me on early on in the season.
No, Adam was a great interview, and then we were lucky to have him. But no, you can find us on Twitter at The Happening Pod or on Instagram at Happening Pod. So you'll enjoy it if you enjoy all things local. We're going to talk about Tupelo, the surrounding area, and majority sports, and we'll mix in some music and food and all kinds of good stuff. So it's a good laugh anyway.
Absolutely. Well, tell us about the guys that you've had the opportunity to coach or maybe coach against that's playing in the day, because that's one thing about the MACJC and also American Legion Baseball. There's a lot of these guys intertwined.
Absolutely. And I was just looking out at ICC in the field, and outside of maybe 2 guys in the field, all of those guys have played American Legion Baseball at some point, and it's a really, really cool deal, and it's backed and funded really well nationally. It's an old pastime for them, and the veterans really do get behind the program. And I was lucky enough. Russell Bunch is coming to the plate here, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do. But we got him, and there's Kyle Krieger and LeBron Sedell, Ray Sandroni, Pate Phillips. Hope I'm not leaving anybody. Austin King, Kyle Krieger, and then we've got Hammer Franks in this dugout over here. So a lot of good players, a lot of good kids, man.
So we'll be Russell Bunch, the 9-1-2 batters due up. Coach will continue the conversation here through the 7th inning. Russell Bunch on the day, 1 for 2 with a strikeout. He did single and score back in the 3rd inning. 2-2 is your score as we're in the bottom of the 7th. Bunch swings on the first pitch he sees, and this was going to go for a base hit. Nice start to the inning here for the Indians, and Coach, second hit of the day, and first time we've got a player with multiple hits for the Indians.
Man, I'm telling you, I couldn't be happier for that kid right there. I mean, earlier in the summer for us, he broke his hand in the second week and didn't get to play until we played in postseason and was phenomenal for us. But I'm excited for him. And that's a big hit right there, man. And it's lead off the inning with a base runner, and you've got the top of the order coming up, man. There's a lot of chance to do damage here.
Well, this is Kyle Krieger. He's reached twice today on a single and an error. He did strike out at his previous at-bat, so no outs and a runner on first. 2-2 is your score. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Krieger's going to show bunt. It's going to be laid down. The throw over is in time for the putout. That will advance the runner over to second for the sacrifice bunt. 2-4 on the putout of Krieger. And that time, just a good job. It was set up to get the bunt. He was able to go up high, find it, and make contact.
That was a really defensive kind of bunt. He could have easily pulled that back and waited for the next one, but it looked like Bunch was already moving. So good job of getting it down, and now you got a chance with Lancaster coming up to go ahead right here.
Well, Lancaster is due. He's grounded the ball to the second baseman 3 times today. He's 0 for 3. He did reach in a fielder's choice during the 3rd inning. He grounded out to second back in his previous at-bat. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball here from Trent Bunning. Coach, Trent Bunning, 8 Renaissance Bank strikeouts on the day. He's been impressive.
Yeah, he has, man. And I'm telling you, this is a pitcher's duel for the ages here.
Actually, we got a new pitcher here. That's Colton Peel in the game.
This kid's a good pitcher. I think he's coming off of injury, actually, and hadn't been with him a lot. But, man, I'm telling you, I've seen this kid and coached against this kid. He's rock solid,
So that is a sonic pitching change that was made during the inning here. Bottom of the 7th, runner at second, 1 out. And this is Jackson Lancaster at the plate. Lancaster swings on this one, pops it back over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Association and Foundation broadcast booth. For more information on how you can contribute to Itawamba Community College, visit iccms.edu. Dr. Jan Reed Bunch, Tilda Bushlawn, and Jim Ingram doing a great job for a very important role this day and age to raise money here for ICC, scholarships and building funds and more. Breaking pitch hangs up for a ball. 3-1 now is the count here to Jackson Lancaster. And, Coach, you've seen Jackson. Don't want a guy with this type of speed on the bases.
And he's got a good hitter's count here. If he can get a fastball grooved in, I expect him to hit the ball hard somewhere.
So 3-1 is the count. Runner at second. That pitch missing low, and that'll be a walk. So a nice at-bat that time by Lancaster as he draws the walk. Runners at first and second now for the Indians. And this is going to be LeBryant Sedale. And for the Indians, this is where they want to be, starting to get to the middle of that lineup. Sedale coming to the plate. He was hit by a pitch. He had an RBI single back in the 3rd. He also grounded out to 3rd in the 1st. So the Indians trying to get something going here. 2-2 is the score.
They've got a really good guy at the plate to do it right here, too, man. LB's a clutch hitter and has been for me for 2 years, and I know he's had a great career here so far, so I'm anxious to see how this at-bat goes.
So Sedale will dig in. Runners at first and second. Breaking pitch hangs up for a ball. And, Coach, this is one thing Jeremy and I have talked about, and I've talked about previous broadcasts as well. LB, very patient, very good eye at the plate.
Yes, he really does. I expect him to get a fastball right here after that missed curve, and if he does, he's going to hit it out of here. I really believe it. I'm calling it.
Well, they did get the fastball.
There's 2-0. Here comes another.
And it's missing inside. Well, the Indians would love to get that merry-go-round spinning. See if they can put a crooked letter on the board here. 2-2 is your score. Bottom of the 7th inning. This game scheduled for 9 here in Game 1. 2-0 is the count here to LeBryant Sedale. Sedale check swings and fouls that one back. 2-1 now is the count. Coach, you flinched on it.
Well, and here's the thing, I expected LB didn't pull back in time right there, but he loves that pitch, man. And now see Peel's open back up in Arsenal where he can throw an off-speed pitch again to hopefully even this count. But like you said, LB's patient at the plate. So
2 balls, 1 strike, and that time was looking curveball, but got a high fastball. 2-2 now is the count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Runners on first and second here for the Indians. High drama here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2 is your score between number 4 ICC and number 11 Northwest. Peel on the heel. And that pitch hangs up high. Good eye that time on the part of Sedale to hold off on a pitch he just swung at.
And, you've got to think, and Peel's got a good enough breaking ball to where he can throw it right here, but you've got to think he's going to come with a fastball because he can't load the bases with less than 2 outs for Medlin because then you're really getting yourself in danger.
So 3-2 is the count. 1 out. Pitch coming. Sedale just could not hang off on that one. That's a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for the second out of the inning. the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for Peel. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, renaissancebank.com, member FDIC. And now this is going to be Justin Medlin coming to the plate. Coach, did you see what Justin did yesterday?
I saw the tweets.
You talk about having a day at the ballpark. He had 4 home runs, actually had a chance to hit for the cycle in home runs. Instead, East Central elected to walk him with the bases loaded to give up 1 run instead of 4. He would love to find his 5th home run of the week here as he takes a look at that first pitch, high and outside.
You know, this is actually interesting you said that. The last time I've actually seen somebody walk a run in, we were American Legion Baseball, and we walked Tyreek Reed with bases loaded because we didn't want him to tie the game.
Yes, and that was a wise decision. So 1-0 is the count, 2 outs. That pitch missing low for a ball here. I don't know if it's one of these situations with Medlin. Of course, you don't want to put the scoring run over at third, go ahead and run at third, but don't really give him anything to hit. See if you might intentionally walk him.
Well, and this is an interesting situation, too, because he's also on the mound, so you kind of run the risk. You know, if you can tax him by putting him on the bases, you know, it could change things for him.
And that pitch, borderline pitch going the way of the Indians there. 3-0 now is the count.
And I think if at this point, I mean, I'm not saying you concede, but I think if you're Peel, you've got to think, let's put him on, keep the force intact. Nobody hurting here. You get a righty-on-righty matchup.
So waiting the 3-0 pitch here from Peel. And he does leave it up high for a walk, and now the bases will be loaded here. And this is going to be Austin Powell coming to the plate. Austin, 1 for 3 on the day, struck out in the second, had a single and scored a run in the fourth, lined out on a hard hit to right in the sixth. And so a big-time opportunity here for the Indians. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Coach, we talked about it. The difference between good teams and great teams are 2-out clutch hitting.
There's no question.
And this is going to be a situation here for Austin. He is catching here in the first game of the day. Has split duties with that with Ray Sandroni all season. Swing and a miss at the fastball. 0-1 is the count. Good pitch by Peel that time, coming back and finding the zone.
Yeah, he really did, man. You know, you've got to think if bases loaded and you just walk a guy, fastball's coming. He did a good job of nibbling on the outside part of the plate right there.
0-1 is the count. 2 outs. Bases loaded here for the Indians. That pitch missing low. 1-1 now is the count. They're pretty much playing him straight away in the outfield. The wind is blowing now out towards dead center, but hasn't played much difference on the long balls today. 1-1 is the count. 2 outs. Powell couldn't find that one. Swung on and missed for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count. Boy, clutch situation here for Peel. Look at the Rangers dugout. They're ready to explode here if they can find the 3rd out and get out of this bases loaded jam in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2 is your score. Awaiting the 1-2 pitch here. And that one up high. 2-2 is the count.
It was a good job by not chasing right there and getting back and winning a pitcher's count. And now you're back dead even. So this up to this point, this is the most important pitch of the ball game right here.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded here for the Indians. 2-2 is the score. Late in the contest here. Bottom of the 7th. This game scheduled for 9. Pitch coming. Powell pops this one up. Left fielder is going to go back and will camp underneath it. And that will end the inning. So a big time out there to end it, and the Rangers get out of the jam, and we stay tied at 2. Well, Coach, appreciate you taking time to come talk to us. So,
man, yeah.
Real quick, pop your podcast again. Let everybody know where they can find that.
Yeah, you can find it on Twitter at The Happening Pod and on Instagram at Happening Pod. So, give it a listen if you want to.
and where they can follow you on Twitter, because I know you're always going to talk about all the great eats that you guys go around to as well.
It's just, I'm really boring. It's just at McKinley Holland.
He's a little humble on that one. We're going to take a break as Justin Medlin comes back to the hill here. 2-2 is your score. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the 8th inning. And ICC and Northwest tied at 2. And it's going to be this is actually going to be Tanner.
Yeah.
Braylon Skinner swings the first pitch he sees, and it's going to get past the diving first baseman, excuse me. As I accidentally queued up a commercial that time, so that will go for a single on the play.
Number 1, Tanner Leggett.
So now we go back to the top of the lineup. So the Rangers trying to return serve here. The Indians loaded the bases in the previous inning, could not push across the run. And so now the Rangers with the leadoff single here off the bat of Skinner. And now we go back to the top of the lineup in Tanner Leggett.
Really, really big at bat right here, and big out for Medlin if he can get it.
So Skinner over at first base. That pitch missing outside for a ball. 1-0 now is the count.
You know, I'm not surprised that Leggett showed bunt right there in this kind of game. You know, you got to get guys over, and especially at the top of the order, you got your 9 guy on. So I'm thinking they're looking for the next 2 guys to drive him in if they can get him over.
Skinner taking a minimum lead over at first base. Medlin sets to deliver, lays the bunt down. Bunch has it, throws over to first, and it's going to be way high. And now this is going to allow the run to score on the error. And the run scores, and then the runner able to advance all the way over to third. And so a big-time error there. And 3-2 now is the score. Oh, just a tough break there for the Indians. Not really a tough play, just the throw was high, and 3-2 now is the lead for the Rangers.
No, really unfortunate. He just didn't get his feet set there before he let it go. And a really good bunt for what it's worth.
And so the error, E5 on the sacrifice bunt. And that run's going to be unearned that time, as there's going to be a shot. This is going to go out to the right side. This is going to be a sacrifice fly. Domino is going to relay it in, and the throw is going to be cut off. And a big inning here for the Rangers, as now they pushed across the second run here, and that error looming large now for the Indians. This is now 4-2, top of the 8th. Well, that's just good baseball by the Rangers.
It's kind of Augie Garrido style, you know, get them on, get them over, and get them in. You know, that was impressive. And, you know, you hate to see it from Medlin because he's pitched incredibly well through 7 1/3 innings, you know. But, you know, he's still battling, man. You know, he hasn't really made any bad pitches. He's just found a couple of barrels.
So 4-2 now is your score. Rangers have played it 2 so far. There is 1 out here. That breaking pitch just hangs out outside for a ball. 1-0 now is the count, as this is Hayden Leatherwood, the Ole Miss signee. He had a RBI double back in the 4th. He did pop up in foul territory to third and ground out to second in his previous at bat to end the 6th. 1-0 now is the count. 1 out. Breaking pitch. It's in there for a strike. Good job by Medlin to come back and find the zone.
Yeah, you know, and he's been around the zone all day, man. I think you spoke to it earlier. The wind really hadn't affected anything because both of these guys have been down on the zone. Nobody's been ever really drive anything.
1-1 pitch, and that one up. 2-1 now is the count here to Leatherwood. It's Tanner Booth that's on deck. He's 1 for 3 on the day, as is Leatherwood, who has that double and an RBI. 2-1 now is the count here to Leatherwood. And this one popped up. Right fielder's going back, running out of real estate, and to the wall, and will make the catch. Well, that one right there, if that big gust of wind that's blowing now would have came in, might have carried it out.
That one was about 2 seconds, 2 seconds too early off the bat, and it may have rode out of here.
Well, a big out there, as that's the second out of the inning. Rangers have played it 2 so far, and now here comes Tanner Booth, the catcher, who singled in his previous at-bat, was left stranded in the 7th. So 2 outs. Breaking pitch hangs up for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. Adam Gore, Matt Collins sitting in for a couple of innings here for Jeremy Kennedy on today's broadcast. 1-0 is the count. And a nice off-speed pitch that time, way ahead of it. 1-1 now is the count.
You know, it's really impressive to see Medlin still compete at this point in the game because you can kind of see him wincing out there. He's kind of running on fumes, but it's impressive to see him still getting outs this late in the game.
1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Pitch is coming. Fastball. Wow. Looked extremely low, but called a strike. A big-time break there for the Indians.
That was close.
One of those as a coach, you might come out and say something.
Well, depending on which dugout you're in.
So waiting the 1-2 offering here from Medlin. Fastball swung on a miss and a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there to end the inning. But the damage was done as the Rangers get 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and nobody left on base. As that's going to do it for the top of the 8th inning. 4-2 is your score. We'll take a break and come back with Jeremy Kennedy. 4-2. Rangers lead at ICC. Need to fire up the bats. We'll be back with more right after this.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the 8th inning. And, Jeremy, this has been an exciting baseball game so far. Appreciate Matt Holland coming in to talk to us here. But the Indians see the Rangers put 2 runs on the board, cashed in on a big-time error. They lead it now 4-2.
Yeah, and obviously we talk about late in the game. Sometimes you do get some small ball, and Northwest tried to play it, and ICC obliged with an error. And Rangers used a lot of their speed that we've been talking about all day long. It ended up hurting the Indians. I mean, Medlin's pitched really well. He's got 109 pitches through 8 innings, and 79 of those are strikes. Unfortunately for him, after he gave up that leadoff hit, defense didn't help him.
2-0 is the count now, as this is Brett Coker at the plate. Coker's the shortstop, and it'll be Coker, Domino, and Palmer due up here. Indians trail at 4-2. And that pitch drifting high. 3-0 now is the count. And we'll have a quick conversation with Peel here. Well, Jeremy, for the Indians, you got to have somebody on base, and that's where it's going to start here. You're down by 2 runs. The Rangers scored 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 8th. ICC got 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and, of course, it was big time leaving that bases loaded in the previous inning.
Yeah, off the bat, I thought that ball may carry out into left field, but the wind held it up just enough. And, for the Indians, you're just trying to figure out a way, as you mentioned, to get somebody on base. You know you're going to get the take sign here from Coker on 3-0.
And that pitch right down the middle for a strike. 3-1 now is the count.
It wouldn't shock me if he gets the take sign on 3-1. Now, obviously, he's had a good year. Of course, Coach Collier not exactly thrilled with the strike zone at this point. Looked like the same pitch that was called in the previous inning that ICC got.
Yeah, I would say that's one of those things right there. If you're Coach Collier, you kind of got to say your piece and walk away. Good job by the home plate umpire, though, not to engage in that conversation. Just let him get it out of his system and say, let's play ball. So 3-1 now is the count. And that one across for a strike as well. 3-2 is the count. Good job by Peel battling back to force the count to go full.
Yeah, hits the outside corner with the fastball. Coker taking all the way there. Run the count full.
This pitch popped up. Major league pop-up here. Left fielder calling off the shortstop will come in and make the play. Great job by Peel coming back to win that battle.
Yeah, that's a really big-time at-bat for Colton Peel on the mound. Came in to start the bottom of the 7th inning, and, boy, now all of a sudden Coach Collier having some heated words with our home plate umpire.
And the home plate umpire, he's had enough, so he's going to come out and have a word with Coach Collier. And I'll tell you what, he's giving Coach Collier extremely long leash here in this situation. And boy, you can tell, look at that the expression on the home face umpire's face. He was not pleased with that, but I give him tons of credit because this is a big-time game, a pressured situation. Could have easily asked Coach Collier to leave the game there, but did not.
Yeah, you just, at this point, unless it's something egregious, I don't think you're throwing anybody out. You want everybody that's eligible to decide this. And we talk about Colton Peele coming in, and I'll give you some of the numbers, from when he came in. Only 19 strikeouts, only 4 walks on the year coming in, and got a strikeout and a walk in the last inning. But has done a terrific job this year. Carries an ERA under 2, and somebody that Northwest really trusts late in the ball game.
1-1 is the count after that curveball hangs up for a ball. This pitch fouled off the netting. 1-2 now is the count. This is Lane Domino at the plate here for the Indians. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the second. Was caught stealing. Struck out in the fourth. And singled advanced on a wild pitch, but was left stranded in the sixth. So 1-2 now is the count to Domino. There is 1 out. Nobody on base here. Bottom of the 8th inning. 4-2. Rangers with the lead. Pitch to Domino. This one fouled back and out of play. And will stay at 1-2.
But just challenging with the fastball. Peel's going to start with this fastball and try to use it to get ahead and use it as his out pitch. He'll throw that breaking ball in plus counts, but not quite as polished yet. So if you're the Indians, I think you go up there and you're looking to hunt the fastball the entire at bat.
So waiting the 1-2 pitch here. That one high and inside, and Domino had to duck back out of the way of that one. He's with the count now at 2-2. Second time Domino today has almost been hitting the head with the fastball.
Yeah, a lot of the Northwest pitchers try to run it up and into the right-handed batters, try to get them to roll over. It's been awfully successful today against ICC.
Shakes off the first pitch, now ready for the second. 2-2 pitch coming. Curveball, and a good job by Domino to find a piece of it, and a great job by Coach Collier to make the play over there in the box. 2-2 stays the count.
That was a terrific breaking ball by Colton Peele, and Domino did a good job to be able to recognize it out of his hand and wait back on it. If he's in front of it just a little bit, that's an easy ground ball to haul over at third base and probably the second out of the inning.
So waiting the 2-2 pitch here. And Domino couldn't catch up with the fastball. That's a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for the second out of the inning, and you kind of feel momentum has shifted the way of Northwest here over the last inning.
Yeah, it has. I mean, one defensive mistake by the Indians, and Northwest took advantage of it, got those 2 runs, and Colton Peele's done a good job since entering. And we talked about Trent Bunting, goes 6 innings, and Colton Peele's done a good job since coming in, and drops a beautiful breaking ball in there for strike 1.
Yeah, good job pulling the string that time. 0-1 now is the count. There's 2 outs. Indians trail at 4-2. That pitch missing, low and outside. 1-1 now is the count. So the Indians got to find a 2-out hit here to try to extend the inning. If Palmer were able to do so, then it'd be Russell Bunch due up next for the Indians. 1-1 pitch coming. That one missing low. 2-1 now goes the count.
Yeah, good take there by Bunch. And one of the good things, if he reaches, even if you don't get anything going, you got, or excuse me, by Palmer, but if Bunch comes up to the plate this inning, get the top of the order in the 9th. Regardless, Colton Peele's going to have to do this going through the top of the order of the Indians in the bottom of the 9th inning.
2-1 pitch. And a good job by Palmer that time, finding a piece of the breaking pitch. And 2-2 now is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on here. Bottom of the 8th. The ICC trailing Northwest 4-2 in what has been an instant classic this afternoon here on the ICC Sports Network. Awaiting the pitch here from Peele. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts, and the Rangers dugout is fired up. We'll take a break and come back with the top of the 9th inning. ICC trails at 4-2. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com, as well as 95.1 The Farm, your new hometown country music station.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back as we move now to the top of the 9th inning. ICC trailing at 4-2. Rangers looking for some insurance runs here. Justin Medlin still on the heel here for the Indians. It'll be Hammer Franks to start us off here in the top of the 9th. 4-2 is the score. Medlin's pitch in the dirt for a ball.
Well, he's got 109 pitches, and now that's 110. 79 of those are strikes, and so pitch count's not been a problem. And at this point, if you're ICC, I think just we'll go ahead and let him finish this thing out and see if you can get a 0 from him and take your chances. As we talked about, you're going to face 9-1-2 if you're Northwest in the bottom of the 9th inning. So the Indians are going to get the people they want at the plate, and certainly they get a couple of base runners, they'll get deeper into that lineup.
Curveball missing outside. 2-1 goes to count after a foul ball for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Hammer Franks, Ben Van Cleve, and Peyton Mills all due up here. As that pitch paints the corner for a strike. 2-2 now is the count.
Well, we've seen Medlin do that all day. Go to the outside against left-handers, usually with the breaking ball, the sweeping slider. That time goes with the fastball. He's done a good job elevating fastballs to Franks before.
And this pitch popped up right here in front of us. It's going to stay in play, and a great play that time on the part of Austin Powell. And, Jeremy, that was one we might have gotten ready to scramble for if it would have drifted about another 4 feet back, but instead it goes for out number 1.
Look straight up. You would have had a chance to camp underneath it and see if you could get a recorded out yourself. But, that fastball that he's elevated to Hammer Franks has really frustrated him all day long. Got a strikeout on it a couple of times, and that time gets a foul out to the catcher. And important to get that first out and to keep Northwest where they are so the Indians have a chance in the 9th.
Now this is Van Cleve at the plate. Takes that pitch for a ball. 1-0 is the count to Van Cleve. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Singled back in the second, was caught stealing at third to end the second. There's a grounder, foul ball, and 1-1 now is the count to Van Cleve.
Just a really, really big batter. Just obviously commands a lot of respect. He's got 6 home runs on the season. .312 average, 10 more strikeouts than walks.
This is a foul ball over in the soccer field, or soccer pitch is the correct terminology. 1-2 now is the count. 1 out. Be a big time for a Renaissance Bank strikeout here if we can find one. 1-2 pitch coming. Instead, that pitch hangs up high, even to the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 9th inning, 4-2 is your score. Here between ICC and Northwest, it's the Rangers with the lead. So 2-2 is the count. Pitch from Medlin coming. In the dirt, now the count goes full. Well, good job by Van Cleve to take those last 2 pitches and force the count full.
Yeah, good job. Just you don't want to go up there and try and press. You understand, look, base hit, ball 4, same thing. And now Medlin's got to come with something. You don't want to give up a 1-out walk, except if you're Van Cleve sit on the fastball.
And that's what he did, and this one's got a chance to get out of the ballpark, and it will. Well, he was sitting fastball, and he got it, and that was on a rope. And he's got a whole lot to say to Justin Medlin as he rounds the bases there. And so that's going to be a solo shot there, and Jeremy, we talked about it. If you can find that insurance run, it could be a big one there, and that was the case as he was waiting fastball, got fastball, and now it's 5-2.
But you get behind in that situation, you knew Medlin was going to come with it, and Van Cleve was sitting dead red fastball. He got it right down the heart of the plate, and that one was sent on a line way out of there in left field. And Boy, Justin Medlin's pitched extremely well today. Obviously, the 2 runs in the 8th inning, not his fault. And you hate that his really, really strong outing, at least up to this point, could be wasted. But, boy, it just gives you an idea about Northwest. We came in talking about them and their ability to hit the long ball, and now the 38th home run of the season for the Rangers.
And that one was on an absolute rope as it went out towards the scoreboard in left field. LeBryant Sedale turned around, jogged for a couple of steps, and just waited on it to exit the ballpark. And as we said, 3-2 count. Fastball didn't really have much movement on it. He was able to sit back and wait on it and deliver.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was expecting anything but a fastball. And I don't think at this point, maybe with Medlin, we talked about his breaking ball and how well he's thrown that all day. But 115, 116 pitches this late in the game, I think you're really putting yourself in harm's way trying to throw a breaking ball on 3-2. So you have to come with that fastball, and unfortunately he just fell behind the wrong hitter.
There's another one lifted deep but foul, out of play, so nothing but a long, exciting strike that time. 0-1 now is the count.
For the first time today, I think you're starting to see Medlin crack a little bit, exhausted. We're talking about 121 pitches at this point, and obviously through 8 1/3, he's been a workhorse for this team today, but just starting to lose, I think, a little bit of that stamina out there at this point.
Well, they're trying to get David Rowland to speed up in the bullpen. David looked down and said, I haven't even threw the first pitch yet. So 1-1 now is the count. Swung on and missed. Good job coming back that time. Took a little bit of something off that fastball. 1-2 now goes the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 1 run is already scored. That was on a solo home run by Ben Van Cleve, the Ole Miss signee, and it's 5-2 now, Rangers.
And I thought Hayden Leatherwood in the 8th inning almost had one. We talked about the wind today. It's kind of died down a little bit in the outfield.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there. The second out of the inning. And I'll tell you what, you got to give all the credit in the world to Justin Medlin. He's just trying to soldier through this inning here and gets a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com, member FDIC.
Yeah, 5th strikeout of the day for Medlin, and his command's been pretty good. That was pitch 124. 88 have been for strikes.
And there's a fastball that finds the zone there. 0-1 now is the count. This is Hall at the plate. He's 0 for 3. 2 fly balls out to center field and 1 to right. So 0-1 is the count. There is 2 outs here. Breaking pitch, grounder to the shortstop. And it's going to be booted again. Another error by the Indians. Brett Coker, who has been solid all year, his 2nd error of the day.
4th of the game, Adam, and I think that's one big stat that you look at. Of course, that error in the 8th inning opened the door for the 2 runs for the Rangers, and that allowed them to take the lead. And now, we don't know if this one will come back to hurt ICC or not, but it's just more pitches Medlin has to throw, and it gives this lineup, a chance to add to the lead again. And you just hope at some point that, you're able to get out of this inning before you end up allowing Northwest to put up a crooked number, and they put it away.
Skinner at the plate now, takes that first pitch high for a ball. There's 2 outs in the inning here. Runner over at first base after that error. There's a hard hit ball. This is going to be down the line, and this is trouble. Extra bases here for Skinner. He's got a lot of speed, and they're going to hold him up at 3rd. And so now the Rangers getting to Medlin here, and it looks like Indians are going to have to make a pitching change in this situation, whether Rowland's ready or not.
Yeah, at this point, I think you're trying to get Medlin through it. He's pitched well enough, and you don't want to burn anybody else. But obviously at this point, just for more so his health and safety, he's definitely hit a wall. He's definitely out. That was his 129th pitch. And so at this point, you got to go to somebody else. Hats off to him. He was terrific today and quite frankly deserved better than what his defense gave him from behind.
Absolutely. We're going to take a timeout here. Word from Sonic. Come back and tell you about the new pitcher as we'll take a break and be back with more. Rangers lead at 5-2, 2 outs, but threatening here in the top of the 9th.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. Like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in.
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 5-2 is the score. New pitcher in the game. Jeremy, tell us about those Sonic stats.
David Rowland making his 8th appearance of the year, 2-0 with a .66 ERA. 13 2/3 innings pitched, 13 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts. So obviously somebody that Indians feel pretty good about, just trying to come in and get one more out, keep Northwest where they are. Rangers probably 1 hit away from making this an insurmountable lead.
Absolutely. Runners on second and third. There's 2 outs. Rowland taking his pitches. Let's take another break and hear a few words from all of our sponsors and be back with more right after this.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 5-2 is your score. Rangers score 2 in the 8th, 1 so far here in the 9th. There's 2 outs. Runners at second and third here for the Rangers, trying to put the game away as we go back to the top of the lineup. And this is going to be MSU signee Tanner Leggett at the plate. He reached on a sacrifice bunt error, scored a run. He is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. This pitch fouled off, I should say, for strike 1.
Yeah, and so if you're rolling here, look, nothing else matters. The runners don't matter. You can pitch from the full windup if you need to. You've got to get Leggett here. Make sure this is a 3-run game because, as we talked about, if there's another error or a base hit, you're looking at a 5-run lead for Northwest in the 9th. That's where you start to feel like maybe that's enough without any real drama.
We saw against, I think it was Pearl River maybe earlier this year, the Indians trailing by 4 was able to come back and tie it up, force the game into extra innings. So not impossible, but highly improbable sometimes in those situations. Breaking pitch that did not turn over that time, and 2-1 is the count. Rowland didn't quite get the warm-up tosses he wanted that time, so talk about that as a pitcher, how that can bother you coming into the situation.
Well, certainly everybody from a pitching standpoint, whether you're a starter or reliever, you work on rhythm. And you want to be able to go down there and have the time to get ready.
And that hit him. So now bases will be loaded here, and trouble for the Indians as this is where the Rangers could really start to get things turning here with 2 outs in the inning. You got the number 2 batter coming up, Tucker Richmond, and then Hayden Leatherwood, and then Tanner Booth right in behind him.
Yeah, Rowland just tries to come inside with that fastball, and you mentioned not being able to get ready, and he wanted to have enough time to get ready down to the bullpen, then come in and get loose and get ready on the mound. But unfortunately, it just got up too late and had to come in earlier than really I think everybody wanted him, and I think you're seeing some of that right now play out on the mound.
1-0 as that pitch misses low in the dirt. Rangers up 5-2, bases loaded here in the top of the 9th with 2 outs. Indians looking for the exit. Fastball. Foul back, 1-1 now is the count. Fly ball, ground ball, anything for the Indians to get out of this inning here. But, Jeremy, I think to tell the tape today, not taking anything away from the Rangers, it's just been the Indians' defense, who's been solid for the most part of the year. They just kind of disappeared late in the contest.
Look, 4 errors is going to kill you almost every single time, and especially if those errors come like when they have for the Indians. So 2 runs in the 8th are directly responsible. And you look now here in this inning, too, what could have been out of the inning. Now bases are loaded, and you could be looking at another run, maybe multiple, because of an error out there at shortstop as well.
1-2 is the count here to Tucker Richmond. Be a big time if Rowland can find a Renaissance Bank strikeout here to get out of the inning and get out of this bases-loaded jam. 1-2 is the count, 2 outs. Rowland getting set to deliver. Grounder. It's going to go to the shortstop. Throw over to first is in time. Are they going to say he come off the bag? No, he said it's in time. And that will end it. So almost another disastrous play there for the Indians, but score that one 6-3 to retire Richmond. And now the Indians, they got some work to do. They trail at 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. We'll come back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Nah, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula.
Jalapeno.
No way. Avocados, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done. Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar. Can I have a turkey burger? But turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that. Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
Well, the Chop is playing here at Roy Crescent Field. The Indians trail at 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters due up here for the Indians. Russell Bunch, Kyle Krieger, and Jackson Lancaster. So for the Indians, if you get some early hits, this is part of the lineup. If you want to make a rally, this is where you can do it.
Yeah, as we talked about, that's why if you're Colton Peel, there's no chance to relax. Even if you do have a 3-run lead, you've got to go through the heart of this order. And the Indians certainly need Bunch to get on base to start this one. Gives you a much better chance. You want to get down in that lineup. You want to get to Medlin. You want to get to Siddell. If you do, at that point, you force the issue.
So that first pitch fouled off and out of play for strike one. Peels, curveball. It's been the best of time. It's been the worst of time for his curveball. That one hangs up. 1-1 now is the count.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to navigate this with his fastball. It's been electric. The Indians have struggled with it. Breaking balls really, as you mentioned, been hit or miss.
Fastball in off the hands of Bunch. The right fielder's going to charge in, call everyone off, and make it for the first out. 1 away.
Always the toughest out to record for any closer in the 9th is that first one. And got a lazy fly ball, did Colton Peel. Good pitch that ran on the inside corner. We talked about that all day long. Bunting did the same thing, just try and use that fastball with some run to the righties, and it's given the Indians some fits all day and does again here in the 9th.
So now this will be Kyle Krieger at the plate. Krieger had a sacrifice bunt in his previous at-bat, struck out, singled, and reached on an error. Swings on the first pitch he sees, pops this one up. Second baseman's going to drift back, wait for it, and squeeze it. Ooh, nearly popped out of his glove, but squeeze it for the out. So 2 quick outs now, and for the Indians, it's got to start here with Jackson Lancaster.
Yeah, Krieger just didn't really give himself a chance. Went after a pitch that was a little bit elevated and just got underneath it, and you're not going to end up hacking your way to it. I think you've got to be a little bit more patient, but you get to Jackson Lancaster, as we talked about, the best hitters the Indians have start right now. We'll have to do it with only 1 out to work with, but certainly very possible.
So Lancaster takes that first pitch high for a ball. There's 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th, ICC trailing at 5-2. Remind you to stay tuned for the Renaissance Bank postgame report coming your way at the conclusion of this one, but hopefully we won't be talking about that for a while. Lancaster over to first, and that's going to do it. As he will jog over, step on the bag, and the Indians go quietly in the bottom of the 9th. As the final score in this one, 5-2. Indians fall here. And Jeremy, before we go into the Renaissance Bank postgame report, your thoughts here on game 1?
Well, a really well-played game up until, as we talked about the 7th, 8th inning. Both pitchers, I thought, were really good on the mound early, Medlin and Bunting. We saw both teams do a good job controlling the running game, which was a big factor coming into this one. Ultimately, Northwest just made plays. ICC with the 4 errors really hurt them. And you saw late this Northwest offense play a little long ball with the home run by Van Cleven, a huge Game 1 win for them.
We're going to take a quick timeout, come back with the Renaissance Bank postgame report, take a look at some Sonic stats, or excuse me, Little Caesar stats, and name our Sonic star of the game. Back with more right after this on 95.1 The Farm and Let's Go ICCTV.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. It's like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in.
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say, it's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza, then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6.
Pizza.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Renaissance Bank postgame report. ICC falls 5-2 in Game 1. It was an instant classic all the way up to the end where the Indians' defense struggled and the Rangers cashed in on some errors late to pick up the 5-2 win. Renaissance Bank, member FDIC, renaissancebank.com. So, Jeremy, let's go ahead and start things off by taking a look at some stats being brought to you by the Sonic here in Fulton. And let's start with the stats for the Rangers.
Looking at it for Northwest, guys down through the lineup, this Rangers team had 8 hits, 3 runs knocked in today, left 6 on base. Look at individually, Leggett 1 for 3 with a run scored, Richmond 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Hayden Leatherwood 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Booth was 1 for 4, had a strikeout and did leave 1 runner on base. Amber Franks was 0 for 4. Van Cleve 2 for 4 with a run scored and a solo home run. Peyton Mills 0 for 4, Kelton Hall 0 for 4, and Skinner 2 for 4 with a run scored. And that's a look at Northwest at the plate. For ICC, Krieger 1 for 4 on the day. Jackson Lancaster 0 for 4 but did have a walk. LeBryant Siddell 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Justin Medlin 0 for 3. Austin Powell 1 for 4 behind the plate with a run scored. Coker, a tough day for him in the field, but was 1 for 3. Lane Domino 1 for 4. Palmer was 1 for 4, and Bunch was 2 for 4 with a run scored. ICC had 8 hits, but could only turn that into 2 runs on the afternoon.
Absolutely. Give that final line for the Rangers. 5. How many hits?
You're looking at 5 hits for or I should say, you're looking at 8 hits for Northwest and 8 hits for ICC.
The Indians 4 errors, and
the Rangers only had 1.
So that's the difference in the game there. All right, so we got to name our Sonic star of the game, and Jeremy, I think you and I both agree with it here. Despite the losing effort, really wasn't on him for the loss today. Just got some tough breaks behind him defensively. Justin Medlin pitched outstanding for the Indians.
He did. He threw 129 pitches, 91 for strikes, and did a really good job. He only gave up 2 earned runs up until that 8th inning, and then that's when the defense started to really lose him a little bit and leave him a little bit. And he did a good job. Again, his first pitch strike, did a good job. Didn't walk many batters whatsoever. And so you're looking at a situation, as far as what can happen. Going forward, he was good last week when you and I saw him in Boonville. He was even better today.
Absolutely. So that's going to wrap it up here for the Renaissance Bank post-game report. You've been watching some of the highlights from today's game as well. You see another Renaissance Bank strikeout there. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our radio broadcast today here on 95.1 FM. The Farm, your hometown country station. So for Kevin Russell back in the studio, Jeremy Kennedy, Raphael Henry, Lee Adams, and Madison Haley, along with our statistician, Kevin Maloney. This is Adam Gore saying goodbye here on today's broadcast for Game 1. 5-2 was your final, Northwest with the win. If you want to check out Game 2, it'll be available on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the red channel, coming your way in about 15 to 20 minutes. So good night. Have a blessed evening, and as always, Roll Tribe.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.